Let me get the music down.
the world ends.
I
All right,
told my
up just a little bit.
I told my office that Neil deGrasse Tyson said he was going to hit before uh election. They're like, really? Came back the next day. What happened to your meteor? I was like, I didn't say shit. Neil deGrasse Tyson said shit.
Yeah.
Nah,
What does
well,
he know? Besides
you said what does
astrophysics
he
and
know?
other physics.
I don't know nothing about no
That's right.
astrophysics.
So you don't like that motherfucker.
Well, I just don't like him personally, but I know he's smart. I just don't
Sure.
like his personality.
All
Very
right,
I
so
think he
smart.
thinks he's cool. And I'm like, you're not cool, Neil. You're a
Neil
nerd.
deGrasse Tyson.
Yeah.
she's.
Don't call him his full name. That's cool. Call him what he is. A
You said
nerd.
that's too cool for him. He don't deserve that kind of acknowledgement.
Call him a
I
nerd.
mean, maybe he does. I mean, no. I mean, it's just like he's trying like too hard to be like Bill Nye, but Bill Nye was only kind of cool because we grew up with him.
He's a little
I got
cooler
you.
than Bill
I got
Nye.
you.
I mean, yeah, he's a little
I
swaggier
could
than
be
Bill
biased.
Nye.
I could just be like
No,
black
yeah, he's black.
scientist.
So
I have to bring him up.
black
You know.
scientist, right? To be honest, he just annoys me in so many ways. That's just Neil.
They're both nerds.
What
I,
happened?
Just put it
I
that way.
just be like,
Yes, ma'am.
I'm glad he exists though. Like
Just
Same.
like,
that
just
makes
like
me
all
feel
of us,
good.
we all nerds here.
Word.
I don't have to like you just to
Yeah.
like that you occupy a space in the universe.
Word.
Like it's
True.
like I'm
Touche.
glad that he exists.
This man said y'all
Yeah.
nerds too.
Exactly.
Okay. All right.
We all nerds. I
You're
understand
about
that
to
but,
put
like
on
some
my
nerds are
Umar
more
hat.
likable than others.
We'll go through the intro right quick. Y'all ready, guys?
Ready?
All right,
Is your
bet.
sound on?
I'm pretty sure. Let me see. Look like it's going.
Yeah, double
Can
check
y'all hear
that,
me
please.
on the stream?
Let me
I'm
check
not
actually.
Maurice, Malik, can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Bet. Great. Appreciate y'all
I
double
can't
checking
hear
that
you.
because I was definitely about to go ahead. All right. All right. Thanks for joining us and welcome to the podcast. Follow us at Blerdimension here on YouTube if you haven't already. Turn on notifications so you can be the first to know when we got new content for you. I'm Kavan, Negrito Suave. We got JK, Beast Eternal.
Yo, what it do in this apocalypse? You know,
We got Creston, not Cert.
What's up? I hope everybody's out there surviving
Bruh.
and thriving.
We got
she's coming.
AJ, Noslinja.
Yeah, it's Thursday, I guess.
What is time? We got JD, Creates Activity.
Hello, everybody, and I'm really waiting for Nevada to finish his damn vote.
Dog, Nevada need to
Bruh.
stop fucking playing, dog.
Nevada
Nevada
over
on
here
lunch.
just taking a whole. You know they all have the
Motherfuckers
casino,
at the
right?
casino. Yeah,
They
I was
said
just
fuck
about to say
counting
that.
votes. I'm gonna count these chips.
This
Facts.
is
Like,
time
God.
dilation at its best. It's like Nevada's time is way slower than the rest of the country.
Dog, real quickly, this before you start, Suave, I want to say this real quickly. So at work, they were talking about Georgia. They're like, "Yo, man, Atlanta's supposed to be on it, man. What's happening?" I was like, "Oh, they on CPT time." They're like, "CPT?
Mm-hmm.
What are you talking about? What's CPT time?" I was like, "Color people time." Everybody just looked at me like, I was like, "I'm sorry, I needed that. I just wanted to see y'all
Bruh.
faces when I said that." It
I'm
was
dead.
too funny. They were like, what?" Anyway,
Ridiculous.
And we down one host to Carl. KBH is not here right now. I think we're expecting him a little bit later.
He's
All
on
of
the
our
way.
pronouns are he, him, and his. We got 3 segments on the podcast for y'all. We're going to talk about what we've been consuming this week. That means, games we've been playing. That means shows, movies we've been watching, comics we've been reading, whatever nerdy shit we've been getting into. Then we're going to talk about some news. After news, we got a topic of the week. This week, we're discussing the imminent next gen console launch. We got like less than a week. And then after the console, see what y'all got me thinking. After the podcast, we'll have a quick intermission and we're gonna get into after podcast gaming. Tonight we're playing Halo MCC and we're gonna keep talking shit, so stick around. And for the uninitiated, the people like Maurice who don't play Halo, MCC is the Master Chief Collection. It's a single install game that includes like almost all the Halo games. Um, so yeah, we're gonna get into what we've been consuming this week. Who wants to go ahead?
I'll go first.
Take off.
This week has been Apex week. I'm not even gonna lie. So last week, if you weren't here on the podcast, I trashed Apex, and I am sorry.
Show
Apex
did.
gods, forgive me.
Show did.
For I have sinned, and I forgot how good of a game it was, because I was being bitter at the fact that I didn't have time to get good. I had some time to get good this week. One, I took Monday off for a mental health day, so I played Apex most of that day. And like my kids and my wife went to grandma's house, which was fantastic. So I had a day to just kind of game, binge. I ate a whole bag of Doritos. It was fantastic.
What about Mountain Dew? You had some Mountain Dew on the side?
I didn't have any Mountain. I can't do soda. As much as I want to get back to that, I can't. It just, as soon as I like sip any soda, my teeth just start like radiating pain. So I'm just like, I'm not gonna do it to myself.
Oh, damn.
But I did crush that bag of Doritos.
Yeah,
Technically, it wasn't
An ammo
Doritos.
trap,
It
but-
was my wife's version of Doritos, so they were like vegan. But whatever. No hate towards vegans.
That's a
Technically am
completely
vegan
different
because I can't
thing.
do
That's
dairy.
a completely different thing, though. Those aren't Doritos. I mean, Doritos isn't real cheese though, so you should be able to do. You should be able to do.
You should be
Those
good.
are
That's
Vegeta-
vegan right there.
Listen,
Vegeta.
whatever it is, it normally
The,
messes up my
the
stomach.
purple bag doesn't have dairy. Don't ask me how I
It
know.
doesn't. Okay, I'll check that out.
What? I didn't even
Carl, I
know
need you. I need you to argue that with my
Yeah,
wife.
that's hilarious.
I'm gonna put you and Joyce on a call together, and you figure out how to convince her to allow the Dorito brand in the house. I remember I bought, like, side note, I bought a bag of Doritos and I ate them, and it was like a small bag from the grocery, like from the 7-Eleven, and I left the evidence in the car. I ain't never get cussed out so bad before for eating some chips in my whole entire life. But nevertheless, outside of Apex, which season 7 dropped, and it's fantastic. They added vehicles, which is great. It definitely, I think vehicles in a VR can go either really well or really bad. So this has been fantastic. It was a great addition to the already good game that's already been like the foundation. The new map is good. Spacing is good. Cover fire is good. So far, I haven't found any like broken weapons. So like normally when Apex drops the season, there's a standout weapon that definitely is better than the rest, either for fire rate or just damage stack. But all in all, I've played about 10 or 11 games today, and I've done a good variation of weapon rotation and haven't come into any issues yet. But as far as gaming, as far as content goes, anime I'm behind on. I've been meaning to pick back up on Fire Force, and I've been meaning to finish Black Clover as well, but haven't this week. What else? Oh yeah, that's it. Besides the election, that's it.
True. You probably all
Awesome.
have watched the election a little bit. I definitely said I wasn't gonna, and then ended up on Politico's website. But anyway, who else wants to talk about what they've been consuming this week besides that shit?
Go ahead, Beanie Man.
It's Beanie Siegel. Thank you very much.
I'm convinced that if you were to actually take off that beanie, it'd just be another beanie.
Yeah,
Yo,
no,
like-
yeah, absolutely.
And then like under that one, it's just another beanie.
I know it's like a Russian nesting doll. It's just a smaller,
Yeah.
but it still like a yarmulke on top. Anyway, what so I haven't watched much. I don't think I can't. I watched what's that, Yashahime, but like I said, I don't recommend that. I'm just watching it because it's Inuyasha related. But I have been reading comics and manga, so are Korean webtoons. But I read Ronin, JK. Enjoyed it a lot. I already knew. I kind of guessed who they were gonna make the
You all guessed it actually.
surviving. Yeah, it was very easy to guess because it's the most obvious choice, but also like it's also the most interesting choice. So it's both obvious and interesting. So
Yeah, especially with all that goes down in the first issue.
right. So then I started reading a Korean webtoon that, of course, nobody's ever talked about on this podcast. Nobody's ever said anything about it. It's on an app that nobody ever recommended. It's on an app called TappyToon. This Korean webcomic may be called Solo Leveling, but nobody's ever talked about
This
it.
man,
Nobody's ever talked
Man.
about it on this podcast. I'm
Yeah,
the
you just
first one
discovered it.
to
Yeah.
find it. Just discovered it. It is
Happy Tune.
freaking
I have
fantastic.
never been so disrespected in my life.
It is freaking fantastic.
Isn't it though? God,
Oh
I
my
wish I could read
goodness.
it for the first time again.
I spent money on this thing. That's how I know it's
No.
fantastic. I was like, oh shoot.
Don't do that.
Then I was like, oh shoot, I actually spent money. Oh gosh.
Oh, you spent money.
But see what happened? They caught me because like I just started reading and I was like, there's a lock button here, and I could get rid of it. Small installments.
I'm done.
Small installments.
So,
Wow.
Oh my
so,
god.
so I was like, I don't need to eat today, and then click the button.
It's good
And,
bad, man. It gets
oh man,
bad,
no,
man. Those
it reminds me of Shield Hero a lot in the way that the story goes.
Mhm.
He's a little bit worse of a person than the Shield Hero. The Shield Hero just pretending to be,
Yeah, you definitely see like as he gains power, he can be
this
more.
guy is definitely
himself.
descending into villainy. It's
Yeah.
close. Like it seems like he's gonna straight up just be
talking about
the bad guy
Solo
at the end of
11?
this. Yeah, Solo Leveling. It's
Oh.
fantastic though, and I'm a fan of art, and but it's Korean, so I expect every Korean action manga to just be
Art style.
fantastic, and they usually
Yeah.
are because those guys would be animating your show if there were enough shows to animate because they're that good over there. I feel like that's something they really focus on.
Yeah.
It's one of their main exports actually is animation.
Yep.
So,
They did
but yeah,
Avatar. too.
yeah, they did Avatar. I mean, they do stuff that you wouldn't even think, like Batman, Brave and the Bold. It's not a Korean. I mean, that's not an anime, but they'll animate that for you. They do The Simpsons too. Um,
Hmm.
yeah, they're huge in the animation game. America really just does post and pre-production. They don't do they don't have anything to do with the middle of animation where you actually animate stuff. They just design the characters and then they just fix up the stuff at the end. They don't actually do any animation. So anyway,
I
that's
didn't
a
know that.
tangent.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's huge. There's some stuff. LaShawn Thomas, the guy who animates, or the animation director of Boondocks.
Hmm.
You should watch. You should watch some of his stuff. He literally he wanted to learn about the middle process of animation, so he left. He just moved to Korea, right? Without learning the language, all that stuff. He just moved there, and he had to learn the language, and he worked in a studio. It was pretty cool, and he did like a TED Talks about it, or maybe a few years ago. But anyway, point being, Solo Leveling, that was a really good call by Tech. I enjoyed it probably too much. Like I
I
said,
have more for you that will break your bank once you're ready.
okay.
Once you're
Well,
done with there,
look, you
welcome to a
passed
new
the first
world.
test. You passed the first test. Now I'll trust your recommendations. So it's freaking fantastic. That's
Hmm.
me.
Bet. What about you, JK?
Let's see. Besides the world going to shit, what did I watch this week? I was watching Once Upon a Time. Damn, what was I watching this week?
I tried to restart that with my wife because he kept talking about it, but we couldn't make it past the first season. I don't know why. Like we loved it when it was airing, but we just couldn't get back into it.
I watched this movie called Magic Camp on Disney because I was bored. It was actually a pretty good movie.
Disney be coming out with some bangers. There's no need to defend that.
Disney coming out with some shit, some good shit. Mandalorian, watch that.
Oh yeah, I did too. Forgot about
Gonna
that.
watch that tomorrow. Anime wise, I haven't been. I think I missed Black Clover. Like, I think I gotta watch this week's episode. Jujutsu Kaisen has been
You're
good.
missing so much.
Yeah, yeah. I can hear it in your voice.
Right. It's been great.
Been amazing this past month, 2 months.
Filler.
Awesome.
I watched shit. I had the tip of my brain. I can't remember what it was now. I've been playing Ghost of Tsushima. That's been a great game. It's it's a fun game, and it feels like a samurai GTA in a sense, sort of, not really, but sort of.
Wouldn't GTA be a samurai GTA? Because you can get a samurai sword in that game.
That's true, but it has the whole Japanese samurai trope. Like you can, not trope, but actual
Mm-hmm.
gameplay. Which is actually really fun. Been playing Apex. I like the new season. I saw apparently they got caught with some slack on the battle pass, saying how, and it's true, like they changed the whole leveling system to where you got to do a lot more to get a star. Like
Oh yeah,
yeah, instead of like getting like
like
50,
the daily, like yeah, the missions, the daily missions are more.
yeah, like if you gotta get like 15 revives, like 20 kills with a weapon from a drop canister or whatever. And I'm like, shit, I ain't got time for that.
It's all more encouragement for those who play, a lot. Get the battle pass for the normal way. For those who don't have time, spend $100 and get all the stuff. But
$100.
$100?
for the full battle, like to unlock the full battle pass, I think at every stage is going to be about $100.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Bruh.
Oh my gosh.
To not have to grind on the battle pass, I do believe it's
That's a
$100.
third
It's
of
somewhere
a
in that range.
Series S, sir.
This man measuring money in Xboxes now.
Come on.
That's funny.
I mean,
Xbox physical.
that's how battle royale survived, right? I
Yeah,
mean,
that's true.
we all remember the
It's all
stories
about
of kids
cosmetics
stealing
and shit.
parents' credit cards for Fortnite. Like,
Oh
let
yeah.
my son spend $100 on Fortnite. We're
Bruh.
gonna die.
I think I'd choke my
Dead.
kids out if they did that.
Bruh.
100%.
Night night.
Night night.
No.
Like,
Um,
I couldn't
uh,
imagine being that
Fam.
parent.
What?
Can
All
you,
right.
can you imagine like looking at your credit card statement and then like your wife goes, "Why did you spend $100 on something called Epic Games?" I didn't. What the fuck is Epic
Right.
Games?
I would never
And
do
then your
that.
son just kind of being there in the corner playing his game, because of course he's playing the game as you're discovering this,
it
trying not to
slowly
mind his
looks.
damn business.
It
No
slowly
bullshit.
looks.
Happy. Just.
Oh
Just.
shit.
Motherfucker
I
running
also been
around with like
watching.
the best skins in Fortnite. Yeah, and it's just, I
That's
kill him. I
that's the new bullying. That's the sad part. Like people bully you over that shit.
Yeah, if you have
hmm
wax, if you have default ass skins, like you get bullied on
Yeah,
that.
we talked about that before, but yeah,
I'm like,
same,
I'll
same shit in
crush
Apex.
all of y'all with some default ass skins.
I always love doing that.
But what else I've been watching? Extreme Ghostbusters on Hulu,
Hell yeah.
which just brought me back to my childhood. That shit, like, it's still creepy to this day.
So creepy.
Like, those ghosts are still creepy as shit. I'm like, yo, how did I ever watch this?
That's very, very demonic.
Yeah. I've been, of course, watching the election. Everywhere has been popping up from work to here, and I said I wasn't gonna look at it. Next thing I know, I have it pulled up on my damn computer. I'm like, why the fuck am I watching this shit show? But oh, and then saw some news reels about people trying to start the revolution in Virginia and have guns out the wazoo and bullets out the wazoo too, and talking about, oh, if Trump loses, we're gonna revolt's gonna be the next civil war. I'm like, oh, word. All right, y'all gonna lose that quick.
Ain't gonna do shit.
Yeah, they've been talking about that for a while. You been on anything
Right.
else, or just?
And then also too, I watched oh, what was that show? Did I say I watched Bad Hair last week? I think I did.
Yeah, I think we talked
Nah,
about it a little bit.
did you?
Did I? I can't
I don't
remember.
think
Yes.
so.
Yes.
Nah.
Somebody did. I remember hearing about
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I watched that. That creepy ass shit.
It was
Dog.
fun, right?
It was fun. It was fun. It was fun. But I'm like, bruh, like wouldn't be surprised if this shit happened. And it made me think about weeds in a whole nother way. Like sew-ins and shit. Like it made me think about that shit a whole different way. But yeah, so that's pretty much it until I think of something else that I watched. But Xbox next week.
Dang.
Tuesday.
Hey,
What about Carl Crass? What y'all been
Wednesday's
on?
a
Whoever want
holiday.
to go. You said what, AJ?
I said Wednesday's a holiday.
Oh yeah, I'm off.
The whole week is a holiday.
Hey,
I'm
goddamn.
off.
Yeah, I took off every day after Wednesday too. So it was like 5-day weekend, baby.
Oh, I'm
this
taking
is a
off
5-day week.
half day
Five
Tuesday
day weekend.
and a day off every
I
day.
I
They
just
won't
gotta
see me
be. I gotta be
for 5 days.
more sure that them joints are gonna come on time to take off. That's the only thing I'm
Yeah.
holding off. I'm just like,
I didn't take off for the Xbox. That's just a coincidence. I took off just because
oh, just because of the shit show that we're in now,
I'm
or
just tired.
just
I could use a
yeah,
couple days.
true.
We
Oh, my
cannot.
bad. I
Um,
didn't mean to
Um.
derail. Go ahead.
No, you good. You good. So
I
Fresh, you
can
want to go
go.
ahead?
Yeah. Um, movies. And shows that I've been watching. I watched His House, which was actually really good.
I want to
I
watch
I
that.
enjoyed that. That had
What's
some
that
parts in
about?
there. So it's basically about some refugees from I forget which country in Africa.
Yeah,
Uh
I did see a trailer on that. Yeah.
yeah. And they make their way to the UK, and yeah, yeah. That's
That's
all
it.
I'm gonna say. Yeah.
That's all you can say. Yep.
Yeah. But it's really good story. It's if you like horror, it's actually it's done really well. But there's actually like a good story behind it too. So if you can get past the horror parts, you'll be all right. But if you like Suave and Carl,
And AJ. And
Wow.
AJ.
Chicken shit.
Wow.
I'm in that
First of
group too.
all,
oh, and AJ,
that was uncalled for.
I'm in charge of the group. We
He
got
plans the
we got
meetings.
letterheads and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got letterhead and everything.
oh
Yeah,
damn.
we're official. We're official.
But
It's a
yeah,
no scare zone.
if y'all could get past that, it's a good movie.
I was gonna watch it till I saw that it was horror.
Yeah. No.
Oh no, it's not horror. It's not horror.
Right. Right.
It's not horror.
Sure.
It's
So
mixed.
what genre would it be in? What genre would it be in?
Right. Right. Right.
Thriller.
Oh, right. Right.
Thriller.
Right.
Thriller is just
Yeah.
you spell horror when there aren't monsters. It's like still just as frightening. I saw No Fear, no, not No Fear, Cape Fear, right? And I was like checking my trunk before I drove off, like that, like a freaking what's his name? Robert De Niro was gonna pop out and kill me.
Yo,
Shit.
I was like,
them shits do put you on edge.
yeah.
Uh.
What
Okay.
else? Oh, I watched this Polish slasher horror movie called Nobody
Oh
Sleeps
my
in the Woods
gosh.
Tonight.
Bruh, is there
Oh,
not enough American
That
horror? This
shit,
nigga watching foreign horror. Like, this man
that
is
shit
trying
is
to go.
wild.
this shit was funny as hell, dog. That shit was funny, especially like the
I
way
worry
that
so much about Kristen's
No
like
bullshit.
just like you like how much bloodshed is
I
enough.
mean it never gets old to me. I'm sorry.
That's the frightening part. That's why I'm worried. That's what I was saying.
Hey, I mean, we all got our taste. I just happen to like, when people get sliced in half. I mean, that's
This is a
Says a lot
fact.
about says a lot about your character.
but no, there was this one part, just like in Terrifier, there's one part that was like fucking hilarious. It
This
was like
damn movie
police
again.
that police officer literally got like he got fucked up. It was hilarious.
Black
That's
Coat's
all I would say.
daughter. You have to watch that.
What'd you say?
Maurice mentioned Black Coat's daughter in the chat.
Say who kills the daughter?
The Black Coat's
Black
daughter.
Coat,
Oh, the Black Coat's
the
daughter.
Black
Oh,
Coat.
Yeah, it's on
gotcha.
Netflix apparently. Another movie I'm never
Um,
gonna see. um,
Mhm.
I had to add that to the
Absolutely.
list.
One day I'm just gonna force you to watch it.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
we're
have to
gonna have to just do
refuse.
a horror like movie night.
That,
Me and Tech will
that
organize that.
That's
Yeah.
I would
that's
say
how you
that
draw
Yeah.
the violence out of me for sure.
I'm gonna force you
to
to
me
watch it. Like
that honestly sounds like one of those torture scenes in Saw, like you just got my eyes like peeled
Right, no
open.
bullshit.
Oh, absolutely.
That's the only way I'm
Absolutely.
watching it. Is if you guys literally have me on one of those and you're like, you want to play a game? I'm like, hell no.
Get the fuck
Absolutely.
out
That's
of
the
here.
Sounds like
plan.
fun.
Oh shit.
On a lighter note,
Nice.
I started that series on Netflix, Queen's Gambit, which is really good. I'm really
Oh
enjoying that.
yes, I
Really
forgot
enjoying
that
it.
one. I did watch that one. That
Mhm.
one is fantastic. Suave, good suggestion.
That
I
shit is
love it when she's
A1.
like, "What's up,
Yeah.
cracker?"
Yeah.
Do y'all, so
Hysterical.
do y'all know how to play? Anybody know how to play chess? I don't. I never
Yeah.
really
I
learned.
know
Decent.
how
I
to
know how to
play, but
play
I
I'm
think.
not
horribly.
good.
I know the
Okay.
rules.
Yeah, my
Yeah.
grandfather taught me when I was younger. I
Have
hadn't
you
played the
tried?
game in probably like 10 years plus.
Carl and I were
Yeah.
at the NASA Black Cookout thing that they do every year, and he wasn't black, but he was at the cookout with us, and he had like 3 boards set up, and he was just torching people, just torching, playing
Mm.
Just
3
showing
people
off.
at once, beating them every 5 to 6 moves. It was quick, it was fast. The only reason it would be slow is if people sat there trying to think of what they should do, but like
God
it didn't
damn.
matter what they did, you beat them in like 5. He was roasting people. That's why I know I'm not a chess player. I don't got that kind of brain that works like that, where you can like imagine 56
Look,
different
I'm kind of
you
possible.
need to just
inspired.
get yourself some tranquilizers. You
Yeah,
might
no bull.
No
Start
bull.
looking
get
at the
yourself up
Yeah,
there.
I'm
ceiling.
gonna do the tranquilizer method.
Yeah, I read a book about a girl. She was like, that's what she did. She put the little chessboard up on her ceiling, and she
Yo,
was
this
just
is the show
like,
about her.
That's her.
Basically.
This is her.
dude,
Wow.
This
no,
show is based on her.
oh, is it? Because I thought the little girl was Chinese in the story I read,
Oh fuck,
which
I
is
don't
why
know.
I
I
Oh,
saw,
mean,
well.
Oh,
I saw,
well,
I saw a little white
loosely
girl.
based.
It's probably a common practice. It's probably a little common practice for people who are trying to get good at chess to like just stare at a freaking
probably.
8x8
I'm done.
and like try to figure out, how to beat an imaginary person. But
I'm kind of inspired to learn it. This is pretty. It's something that like I've always like. Oh, one day I'll get to it. One day I'll get to it. One day I'll
Yeah,
get to it.
Yeah.
This is
they
kind of
have
like
that
putting it there.
chess game. I think a really was called chess. That's actually like pretty good. That people stream sometimes. Like Shroud does a few things. I've seen him do it. Maybe we can do like a chess night stream coming
True.
up.
I want to learn Go, and if nobody else knows how to play
Yeah,
Go,
Go seems like a lot of
that'd be
fun.
great. So we could all be at the same level and we learn Go together or
I
something.
don't know how to play Go. I'll learn
I know
Me
Go
how
for
to.
either.
sure.
That's
It's
perfect.
another
Yeah.
game I can suck at.
Yes,
You
but
can
we'll be
Go,
all at the
Halo,
same
and
level,
chess,
though.
baby.
Shut up, bitch.
Oh, that'd be
Uh,
dope to have like a chessboard with Halo characters on it.
oh, yeah, true.
Oh, absolutely,
That would be a good
absolutely.
I'm sure they have it.
That'd
crossover
be
right there.
You got
a
Halo
joke.
Um,
chess set.
shit, I'm gonna
Um,
check eBay. Anything else
but
for you, Chris?
um, and then I've been so they put Chappelle Show on Netflix. So
Oh yes.
Oh my gosh, yes.
me and my girl been watching it for lunch
Oh,
like every day. We just been
I
like,
did not know that. I
yeah.
might
Oh,
have
So
aren't
to.
you all fancy?
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so that's
My wife had
been
never
really
watched
cool.
Chappelle's Show growing up, so I have broadened her horizons.
I never watched all the episodes. I watched like maybe 65% of them. Because
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have cable until like high school, really. So I always had to like catch Chappelle Show like at somebody else's house or some shit like that. That no cable shit growing up was
Rough.
it was rough
Struggle.
because I missed
You
out on
just
all the music videos, the Cartoon
can't just
Oh,
Network,
start
System
nodding
R.
Nickelodeon.
during the conversations.
That's
You just nod during the conversations, like, yeah, yeah, yeah,
I was
oh yeah.
man.
And
You
then
talking about feeling left out? I'm like, man, fuck. That's why I just like turn to video games. That was my only shit that I can really do because
so that's my
that
problem with
regular TV
Halo.
shit.
I had too many TV channels. That's why I'm bad at Halo. Too many TV channels.
This man said
I
too
had
many.
plenty. I was lousy with TV channels.
Bruh.
That's what it was.
Man, just bragging about how rich he was growing up. It's a shame.
Yeah, but we
Him and
got
his
poor
TV
later
channel.
on, so don't worry about it.
You said I got
It
poor
evened out.
later.
It balanced out.
Someone made a bad
It
investment.
evened out.
I'm done.
Game wise, I finally beat Luigi's Mansion 3, which is really good.
Congratulations.
That game is just like a masterpiece of like game design. It's It's really done.
Well done.
Yeah, well done. Like it's, I mean, every inch of that game is just designed like out the ass. So I highly recommend if you have a Switch, um, to pick up Luigi's Mansion 3. Finally beat Hunt Down. Uh, that game is probably my favorite game of this year. It's a mishmash of um movies like Judge Dredd,
Hobo with a shotgun.
Warriors, Hobo with a Shotgun, Running Man, all like those like crazy like 80s action movies, especially like set in like the cyberpunk world. Like
Mhm.
that's basically Hunt Down. So
Lifted.
that's still one of my favorite games this year. And then played some. I'm close to beating Doom 64. I'm on like the 20. It has something like 20 something levels. So I'm on like 22 right now. And then started playing a little bit more of Ghost Runner. So I'm trying to, hopefully I'll beat Ghost Runner next couple weeks or so. So that's pretty much it for me.
All right, cool. What about you, Carl? What you been
So, been watching Black Clover. It's it's fantastic.
Sounds painful.
No, I it hit a new level of trash.
Damn.
Like
Damn.
it's
Damn.
so garbage right now.
How do you
Like,
go? How do you dig under granite?
Bruh. First
How do you
look,
dig under? I mean, they're gonna come out the other side of the earth at this point.
Pretty much.
it's like okay. So in previous seasons, they've had filler. I
Mhm.
mean, everybody has filler from time to time. Um, but they've what I liked about Black Clover is they usually have the filler still be somewhat compelling, somewhat interesting. There's just none of that. It's pure garbage. Like there's not enough. There's no real action. There's nothing happening. You're just in a constant state of waiting. Something is going to happen at some point in the future, but it's so slow. It's like, okay, yeah, this could happen in 5 years. I could 5 years later, they could be hit me with filler. So there's no sense. Oh my gosh, we're gonna finally get to something. I had that feeling like a month ago that they're gonna get to something, and never happened. So I'm pissed about that. Watching Fire Force. Fire Force is starting to drag right now as well. Like, where the hell is Show? Like, I'm still heated right now. Like, they're all disappointing me. Like, I'm getting furious about this. Uh, there's points where I really enjoy both of them, and they're kind of hot garbage right now. Um, I did start um, Blood of Zeus. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Yeah, I started that.
Yep.
But it was late at night when I started it, so I didn't even finish the first episode.
Same. I made that
Um,
same mistake, unfortunately.
yeah, I don't know. I did that. That was dumb.
Newbie
Um,
mistake. Rookie move. Rookie move.
it was. I finished um, either earlier this week or over the weekend. Queen's Gambit. Went ahead and closed that out. Um, yeah, I just enjoyed the heck out of that. Crap's
Okay.
on point. You know, it's interesting. Like watching that, I'm not as deterred from drugs and alcohol as I feel like I should have been with that show.
You talking about Queen's
Feel
Gambit?
more encouraged to do
Yeah.
so.
Huh?
This man said I feel more encouraged to do so.
No, I don't feel more encouraged, but I feel like, they showed they showed the drawbacks and what can happen. Like you could throw your life away, but
Right.
at the same time, I
Busting
never
people's
had.
ass in chest.
She's just a
Hey.
ball. Like it's like okay, yeah, like our chess career could end right now. But then again, you just remember it's chess, dude. You can't age out. You just come back. You hit this little stumbling block. You throw 5 years of your life away. That sucks. But then you come right back. It's not like you're playing college basketball and you're about to age out. If you stop playing basketball, your body's never going to come back to make it to the NBA.
Right.
It's freaking chess. So it just never. That's not a knock on the show, but as I was just thinking to myself, I'm like, go on a little tranquilizer binge. I can recover.
I
It's
could
cool.
recover.
I'll make
Yeah.
it through that. It'll be alright.
It's all
Take a
Has
right.
anyone
couple,
ever like? Has
become
anyone
a chess
searched
champ.
like after watching that show? Has anyone watched if people actually gave kids tranquilizers? Like, has anyone researched that? I'm afraid to almost research that to see if that's actually was a thing.
I would
The
not
I
be
states
mean,
have
it was
surprised.
like the
banned.
No,
50s.
I'm
They probably
certain
did.
it was a. I'm
I'm
certain it
sure that
was.
they did.
They were doing lobotomies and all that crap.
They were
Yeah.
serving. They were
I guess that's true.
injecting lead
Bruh.
in kids.
Yeah, they were doing crazy stuff.
All types of shit. Like that's why.
Mm.
That's why that generation's so fucked up.
Especially like orphans. Like,
That's
man, people
fair.
don't care about them fucking kids. Like,
Yeah, hell yeah. They
they
were.
was doing
They were trying.
anything.
I'm sure they had all kinds of experiments for those motherfuckers. Like seriously.
Hmm.
That's why them abandoned like orphanages are haunted and shit.
Facts.
There's all that
A
Yeah,
lot
crazy
of
shit
kids are
torture
going
fucking
on.
going on.
angry.
And those mental those
Oh, there's that spot
Oh,
in
the insane
Tallahassee, the
asylum.
asylum in
yeah, insane
Tallahassee, right?
asylum. Yep.
Yeah,
You ever
those are the
went by
most.
there,
Those are
AJ?
the most dangerous
What?
fucking places.
Absolutely not, bro.
So people have actually convinced me to go by there. Never in it. So the real crazies, they went inside, and it's gross inside. So people wear like sneakers and like sweatsuits, and they come out with all kind of grossy stuff on their feet, on their sneakers, and then they claim to see stuff. Almost everybody that's gone in there claim to see stuff. I'm like, oh, that's awesome. That's great. Let's go. I'm hungry.
Mhm.
Let's see if we can stop by McDonald's.
Yeah.
So,
Stop by
but
Chubb's, goddamn.
but I thought, I was a good enough sport to be in the car. Never left the car. Not doing that.
Mm-mm.
Um,
No, I'm not even that good of a sport. Cause y'all might get hunted and bring that crap back with
I
me.
know. I'm
Facts.
like, no, I made sure
Possession
to
and
never
stuff
touch
like
them. Like, go in the shower, go in the shower. You sit in the front, I sit in the back, whatever.
what was that Denzel movie where if the thing touched you, it possessed you?
Oh, it didn't even have to touch you. It was just like in close enough proximity, and they could jump
Yeah.
bodies. I forgot what the name of that shit was.
That movie
Okay.
freaked me out.
Yeah, that fucked me all the
Yeah.
way up.
Oh
Okay.
man,
Hold on, what
I don't
movie
think
was that?
I don't think I watched it. And
I forget.
yeah.
It's based off a Stephen King book.
Yeah, hold on,
But
let
I
me
can't
check.
Uh-huh.
can't
We
remember
don't
the
have to
name.
It
Google it
was
though. It's cool.
it was
He
this
said,
criminal dude. He was like a serial killer or some shit. And
No,
they
it was a literal fallen angel demon, and
Yeah.
oh no,
It was,
we thinking about some different
Yeah,
it
oh,
was
yeah.
made.
somebody says fallen.
Yeah,
Fallen.
fallen.
Yeah, that's it.
That's well, fallen angel. That makes
Yeah.
sense. Yeah.
Hmm.
Because they made a music video about that.
Oh
Um,
my goodness, that thing was the
oh
worst,
shit.
and I really wish I had never watched it. Kristen, you might enjoy it.
Yeah, that's why I'm
Uh-huh.
looking it up.
it's from
I remember
'98.
Yeah, I remember
I
that
remember
shit.
the cover of the movie, but I don't think I actually saw it.
Yeah, I
Mm.
watched my dad likes scary movies, and
Mm.
we uh we watched that.
Yeah,
Anyway,
he
Yeah.
back
sounded
to you, Carl.
it
Don't sound like you
sound like it was a
enjoyed it.
fun time.
Yeah.
You know what I will say, when I was a kid, I watched a lot of scary, like with other people, like as it was a group activity, right?
Mm.
And it was like cool. We can all be scared together. As an adult, I'm way too anxious for that shit. It's like
I don't have friends like
life is
that.
scary enough.
I just had friends.
I mean, we're in our own horror movie now, so
I don't have the capacity anymore. It's like when I was a kid, I ain't have shit to worry about. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't worried about bills and fucking cops killing people and like the liberation of black people and shit. Like I had nothing to worry about. So it was like cool. This is great. This is fun. Today, it's no longer
Yeah,
fun.
yeah, it was
It's
never
no
fun
longer
for
fun.
me. No, never.
Anyway,
Um,
my bad. Go. So, you been playing anything this week, Carl, or watching anything else?
yeah. Watching. I don't think there has been anything else. I did watch a little more content this week than last, but I've been meaning to get into Succession,
Mm.
like this,
Oh
because I
yeah,
still haven't watched the second season of that, and I need to get back into it. Um, so I'll probably start that
it's a
this
good
week.
show.
Um,
It is good.
I did get a game or two in Halo. Like, was it yesterday, the day before? I ended work kind of early. Um, and then
Was it 5 or MCC?
no, it was five. It was five. MCC. I'm gonna be pressing the wrong button for about 5 games.
Bruh.
Yeah.
That's just
And I
how
just
that
hate the fact
works.
that I can't run in MCC. That just destroys me. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh man, now I'm just slow. Like now everybody was the same. Like I can't even escape anymore. Like shoot,
Nope,
that took away all my
no
avenues.
escape.
I got real accustomed to the thrusting. I'm gonna be trying to thrust all day and be throwing grenades or trying to beat down at accident.
Beat down. It's gonna be
No
beat down.
thrusting.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. So I think that's it for the content for me.
Bet. What about you, Chris? Oh no, you went.
He
Oh no,
already
it's
went.
you.
Shit.
Yeah,
Oh
it's
shit.
on you.
I don't even my brain. For me,
You
what
can
I've been
blame it
on
on
this week?
Trump.
You said right. I definitely will. Fuck, fucking everything up. I've been playing. I haven't got a lot of Halo in. I'm definitely gonna be trash. And the Halo. When I was playing Halo, it's been all like Guardians, all Halo 5. All my buttons are gonna be fucked up. And I've been using the paddles and shit. I'm not. None of my shit is gonna work right. My reflex is gonna be all fucked up. But I've been playing Apex. I'm trying to get used to it. I'm still not
It
super
takes a
psyched
while,
about
man.
having to wait all long to kill people and then having to like start a whole nother match before I can do it. But like
Yeah.
I'm trying to get into the flow of it. Um, I've been playing Road Company. I'm still having fun with that. I mean, I don't know who the fuck we played last night, me and you and JK, but that like that last game, we should have stopped at the one game because that second
Oh,
one, I
oh, you
don't know
talking
who
about
the
where it's
fuck that was.
3v4 and they were
Yeah,
all master classes?
bruh,
Yeah,
that shit was
yeah,
crazy.
yeah. hmm
I don't know what the fuck that's about. I've been playing Call of Duty, Modern Warfare. I want the Cold War joint that's coming out. But I'm not super pressed about playing with like old ass weapons and shit, especially when Modern Warfare still feels so fresh to me. I'm not like looking for. I'm not like, ah man, I need a new Call of Duty game, and I'm like, this is new. This is gonna be great. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Um, we'll see.
Modern Warfare has so much life to it.
Exactly, exactly. I'm still enjoying it a lot. Um, we finished the Queen's Gambit. It was great. I love the ending. And I already told y'all what y'all need to know. Anybody watching that has not heard, everybody else watch that shit. It is fantastic. And the ending was like mad wholesome. I like that I liked it. I ain't gonna spoil it, but I like the way it ended. Um, and then I'm still watching Black Lightning. I know AJ, you disagree.
I mean,
uh, but
he's like,
I mean,
So which
I
episode
spoke
are
my
you on?
technically,
part.
your eyes gotta be somewhere. So I
Jesus,
guess if you're on,
Well, let me
you
die.
gotta be staring in some direction at something at some
oh,
time.
I'm dead. All right.
Which episode? What episode are you on?
I'm on.
Does it
Oh
matter?
shit! I thought I was in season 3. I'm actually in season 2. Um, and we started. What is it called? The book of. They had like the book of consequences and then some more
Oh
shit.
yeah.
So I'm after the book of consequences. Hold up, I'm trying to. We are on. Oh no, shit. We just into season 2, so I'm on season 3, episode 1, the book of occupation.
Oh
Okay.
yeah. So now you about to get into some real shit.
Hey, that shit started off so crazy. I don't know what's with
And while I
this,
was talking about
facility
last
and
week,
everything. Yeah.
oh yeah, while I was talking about
Um,
Yeah,
last
I'm
week,
surprised that
but
hasn't happened already. Maybe it has happened.
what?
Like they just
maybe it
take,
has happened. We don't know.
yeah, they just take over a city and you don't hear nothing about it. You think everything's great.
There's stuff to like about Black Lightning Malik. There's, some stuff that I take issue with. That we have touched on probably for a couple weeks now. And I guess like two things real quick. I'm gonna talk about kind of carrying over from like my issue is not with them seeing us as being like someone's version of like a perfect black fam, but all the flattening, right? Reducing wider social issues to like personal issues that can be resolved if you just have a mom and a dad who care and like have enough money. Which I mean, having involved guardians who love you is super important, right? But they don't ever
Hmm.
address like the systemic issues that cause that vision to like break from the ideal, right? And not to mention that like that one particular notion of an ideal family structure is like super restrictive, right? And then like the other
True,
thing
true.
is that like white people don't even know how to treat each other. These motherfuckers is like I don't know. I don't know what the fuck
Yeah.
is up with them.
Yeah.
Like they don't have like a healthy idea of respect. Like when they
Yeah.
respect somebody, that's like out of fear. It's not like you're a human
It's
being
like
like
this
I'm a
person
human
has
being.
something over me, so I'm
Exactly.
gonna
It's
respect
never
them.
exactly. And so I
It's
mean I
never
don't.
like it's never
Yeah.
just like
Never.
just pure respect.
Exactly. It's never just like we're both people, right? And
Mm.
you deserve a certain level of just consideration as another person. It's
Yeah.
always some like fucked up power dynamic shit with them.
I mean, it starts with the way that they like the kids talk to their parents. I'm like, dog, like I would have got I would have got snatched up if I was just like,
Said
dog,
one thing wrong.
I'm saying, I'm like, dog, like it's like they be having like full on like discussions and debates with your parent. I'm like, dog, like there's no debate. Like,
Like the only time I had a discussion and debate is when I became now. Like
yeah,
You
exactly.
said
And you
now.
get and you
That's
become a
now,
yeah,
But you gotta,
now.
you
but you
become an
gotta check
adult.
that tone. You
Yeah,
still
right. You
gotta
got
check
exactly.
that
JK's
tone.
30.
It's like,
JK's
"Nigga, what you
30.
say?" I'm like, we having a conversation, Dad. Just calm down. No, no, I'll
Calm
kill your dad. I'll
down.
kill your dad.
The
Ooh,
fact
I'm
that you
like,
can say calm down is very impressive.
Very impressive. You
I don't
play
have
with life.
conversations with my dad still. I mean, I talk to my mom all the time. I don't have conversations with my dad at all. Like, we talk about sports. I don't have no heart to hearts with
only
my
time I can have a
dad.
conversation with my sisters there
That's
because
crazy.
It's
it's
What do you
definitely it's
say?
definitely harder to talk. Yeah,
Disagreements with my dad?
yeah, it's definitely
just
harder to talk to my dad about that type
certain
of
Like
stuff.
things.
real stuff.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
because
like
it's
real
just
stuff.
it's like it's, but it shouldn't be though. Like that's
Yeah.
and
No,
but
no,
it,
we didn't. If you didn't develop the relationship when you're young, it's hard to develop it as an adult.
exactly, yeah,
Because
it's
you
like
guys are
ah, it's
both
like
in patterns yourself. Like he's in his pattern of how he speaks to you. You're in your pattern how you speak to him, and
yeah,
it's both people deciding to break that. Because if one person breaks it, then the other person might get offended or
like
annoyed or
dog,
whatever.
you getting all sappy on me? What the hell is wrong with you? You
Right.
know,
So
like that type of shit. You gotta like it's yeah, it's like a larger conversation just about the black community as a whole and
right.
how we our relationships with like each other's like our friends, our
Easier with daughters, man.
loved ones, that type of stuff,
Yeah.
so
And
It is
Suave,
easier with
you haven't got to, and when you talk about like showing like, oh, this family like it's like the perfect family, it does show that in like season one, like season two as well. But like when you get further along in the other seasons, you kind of see the tropes pop up that you were talking about. So because it's an interesting dynamic how they had a lot of like stereotypical tropes of black people, especially living in since because they live on the other side, they live in like a nice neighborhood, stuff like that. But they hit certain tropes that are kind of like the stereotypical like oh, black people in the hood type shit. So it's it's I like the show for how for what it was
No,
because one,
absolutely.
Black Lightning was one of my favorite DC comic heroes besides Spawn. Um, and I just like how I don't know. To me, I just like the show, and I watched the show from the beginning. So
Mm. Look,
No,
I just because it's the same way I feel about Neil deGrasse Tyson. Just because I don't like it doesn't mean I'm not glad it exists.
word,
Like
word, word.
I
True.
like it's out
no,
there.
the way you
Yeah.
talking about my hero, or Shield Hero.
I am conflicted about Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Right.
There's, I feel like there's some valid reasons not to, not care for him necessarily, but we don't have to be
But
friends.
we're glad he's there, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah,
good
yeah,
man. Fill the space, man. Fill
yeah.
that space.
There you go. There you
Fill
go.
that space. Just like
The
Suave's
universe is
eyes
not
have
like a void.
yeah, Suave's eyes gotta be somewhere at some time watching something, and if Black Lightning is that thing.
There you go.
Same thing. Neil
There you go.
deGrasse Tyson's atoms were constructed and they had to be somewhere at some place. I'm glad that they are
There you go.
in that space.
But yeah, and then so Malik was saying as far as talking to your dad and shit, like I agree with him that it's more of a like a men's issue than a parenting issue. Because like, well, I mean, I guess it depends on your parents for real. But
Yeah.
having a different, softer relationship, with your mom is not, it's not a matter of parenting. It's a matter of, you know, um, social conditioning for men and for dads. I
Well,
definitely,
I still know guys who can talk to their dads, and most of them are white. Like guys who have like regular conversations with their dads, and like have like a whatever. Most of them are white, and I think that when you grow up in a tougher environment with where things are real, when things really matter, right? Like it's not light that the leadership is a lot more stern just in general. That's not just families, right? But like if you were a country, right, and you were in disarray, you're not going to have lax government, right? Because you can't, because if you're lax then things get out of control. So I think the black community starting from the bottom, right, where like if going out and doing something stupid as a young black man can get you murdered, right,
Yeah.
by by the state, as opposed to going out and being boys will be boys, which I know is a bad term, but I mean the way that they had been using it back then was like, oh, they go out and they do stupid stuff. That's just what they do. They're immature, right? Immaturity for us gets us murdered. Immaturity for them just gets like, oh, they spray painted the neighbor's house. Okay, well they're just gonna paint it on Saturday, right? Like
Expressing
it's completely
themselves.
different, completely different. So it's like the converse. So I feel like because of that seriousness, um, at least in
We had to
my
grow up a
experience,
lot faster.
my parents are more stern because of
yeah,
the seriousness of like the way the world works. Like they can't be as relaxed with me. They have to make sure that I understand that's not okay. You can't do that. Blah 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 blah. So
I
Yeah,
I
feel
think
you.
that also plays into it. I don't disagree that yeah, it's a men thing. Men don't,
That's true.
Yeah,
like if we see some dirt on each other's shoulders, like instead of like, hey man, let me get that dirt on your shoulder, we punch it off, like just to make sure that like we're tough, right? Like it's like, hey man, let me get that dirt, and you hit them hard because you're like, don't be tender, right? Like I
right,
get
yeah,
it, yeah, that is a man's
for
issue,
sure.
but I
so
also
basically, you
think
don't want to
that
And
the
start a
oh
black
nigga.
shit, who
war.
did we lose? Oh,
tech
Tech.
Tech.
for a second,
All right,
he'll be
he'll be
back.
back in a bit.
So basically,
But
AJ, you don't want to start a nigga moment.
I'm dead. Yeah, I think that I think I have a lot to say about parenting. Like I have a lot to say about blackness. I feel like there's a lot of stuff that it would be worthwhile for us to unlearn that we inherited from you know slavery, that we inherited from all that type of shit. And I feel like the the guys that you're talking about, the reason they can talk to their dads is because they could talk to them before. And like I mean, my parent, like I would be dead if I talked to my parents the way white kids do, and I would never want my kids or anybody's kids to treat them that way. That shit is disrespectful. But I do think
True.
that the rigidity of like the way authority is set up in a black home prevents it's the kind of relationships that that develop into what you're talking about with your white friends. And I think that definitely there's it's different out here for us, right? And shit, I lost my train of thought. Fucking Donald Trump, dog. So,
But it kind of goes
Fucking
back to
Donald
what
Trump.
we were talking about with Lovecraft, right? With D, how like
The best
they weren't
show of the
taking
year.
they weren't taking her seriously when she was
yeah,
trying to tell them like, hey, I'm getting chased by these creepy ass demons and they trying to chop my damn arm and shit.
bruh.
He's like, oh, it's fine. Well, I don't got time for you. Blah,
Yeah,
blah,
not listening.
blah. Like y'all not listening to me. Like, and then next thing you know, she crushing a woman windpipe out, calling the blood
Bruh.
splat out.
Lord.
Some G shit. She went from like, oh, I'm this helpless little girl, I need help, to like, man, fuck y'all, I got my mechanical arm in this.
Like
Ah!
straight up murdering people. I was like, whoa. Hey, you gotta
She
do
had a
what you gotta do
demon
to survive
dog.
out here.
She looking that last scene looked like she was a fucking Marvel character.
True.
Like,
True shit. All right.
the ending was
Yeah.
trash. Damn.
Whoa.
Ah, damn.
It
Hope
wasn't.
it gets some. Mm,
Wow. Wow. Wow.
damn.
Not trash. Okay, we gonna move on.
He trolling now. He trolling now.
Go
Damn
ahead.
on that.
I
He
mean,
trolling.
it could have. I feel like it could have been better. It could have been, but I don't think it was trash. Like, damn,
It just left on a cliffhanger. It means more seasons.
right. All right, we gonna we on that note, we gonna move on to the news, and we got GameStop out here being horrible as usual. They put out this.
What's
They're
new with
not
that?
dead yet.
No, they're not quite. I mean, Microsoft just partnered with them, and I was excited for it for a bit, but then I remembered that GameStop is an awful fucking company. And they are
Right.
challenging
Let the
their.
end happen already.
You should right. Let just let the
Yeah,
darkness
it
take
feels
them.
like that's just kind of like a dead horse that just keeps getting beat.
I just.
You mean keep getting resold for less and less.
Yeah,
But
like sometimes you just gotta let the horse die.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like like they just keep like raising the bar on how trash they can get.
yeah.
Like they just keep raising the bar.
I make
So
some
they
Burger
got
King
these
So
burgers
right
niggas,
out
now,
there.
they
while
got
they're
these niggas
trash,
twerking for
you
extra
said,
hours. Is that what you're
right?
saying?
They
Yeah.
challenge. They're having their managers do like have the employees do this challenge, this dance contest on TikTok to win prizes. Like, nigga,
It's a
the only
virtual
prize
strip
I want
club.
from work is a fucking paycheck. Like, don't talk to me.
Exactly. Yeah.
What
It's
the
like a
fuck kind of
virtual
They'll
shit is
try
strip
that?
and
It
use
club.
said the
me
So if
winning
for
they
store
win,
will get
they have to give
social
it to the
media
company.
gains when you
No,
barely
no.
pay me.
The prize is the opportunity to
To
work
work.
more. I
What?
to get on the
Yep.
schedule more, because so basically what they were saying, like, GameStop has very strict hour allotments for the managers, and so you win the contest, you get to work more, you get a bigger paycheck, I guess, instead of being home with your fucking
Out of
family.
here.
Yep.
Look,
Only
it's
paycheck
Uber
I want
Eats
to
for
see is the
me,
Series
man.
X.
You're
It's
telling me a social
Uber
media
Eats.
post correlates to me working more hours than I already deserve?
Bruh, I'm trying to
Yep.
you see, it sound like a scam, Malik said.
All that
And
sounds
then
like is Dance Monkey Dance. That's what it
Bruh,
sounds
that's
like.
exact you know what that's
basically,
exactly what it sounds like.
It's a digital strip club, is what it sounds like.
You said it
Yeah,
gets
it's a digital strip club.
I
They
mean, I don't know
counting
if it's
hours that you exist.
It's
No,
it's
sorry.
right.
That's
make
OnlyFans.
hours,
That's
baby.
OnlyFans.
Yeah.
You can't be getting into their territory. They're gonna get mad. That's not.
that's
That shit
so
is
it's so
it's
trash.
trash.
And
Like,
then what was the other prizes? Like an Echo 8, an Echo Auto, and $100
The
Visa
Go.
Echo
gift
is not a
card.
prize.
What's that?
Like
$30?
what the? I'm like,
The
dog, what? Like that is insulting.
I'm
That is
concerned for the people who made the decision, who were in that room, that were like, yes, this is what's gonna get the people. Like,
Yeah, who thought that was gonna be a good idea? Like
Let's
I'm
get the
doing
people
Uber
going.
Eats instead of that, man.
like
you said,
that's something
like, I'll take
for
that prize. That's food.
that sounds like something for like the consumer side. Like that's a consumer like
exactly.
challenge or whatever, especially when you give them prizes like an Echo and a Visa gift card. Like, dog, like these motherfuckers just want hours, and then y'all are trying to like sprinkle it, like, oh, you get these little extra, and you get the grand prize of 10 additional labor hours. It's like, dog, like
Sound like some Prices Right type shit.
No
y'all
bullshit.
In that
Yeah.
situation,
so
it's like, what are they losing? Because like, if it's a prize, you're giving me something. An extra hours is not something that you are losing.
dog, it's just garbage. All around is garbage. GameStop is garbage.
Bruh.
Going the way of Blockbuster pretty
They
soon.
listen, they got to. Microsoft got to get off
Even
that sinking
Blockbuster
boat.
sat down and died by itself
Please.
quietly.
No, the last
GameStop has been
Blockbuster actually
struggling for
closed like
years.
5 years ago. There was one more left like 5 years ago. It
Oh, yeah.
Is
just
there
closed.
not still one more?
There's
No, I
still
think
there's
there's still
still
one more.
one, but
There's
it's
still
like
like
it's
one more
independent.
Blockbuster.
It's
It's not
independent. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, it's not
It makes
it,
money
it
off of nostalgia,
Facts.
exactly. Yeah.
It's
and
vintage.
it barely does
It's
that
in
at Blockbuster.
Alaska, I think too. It's in a random
Damn.
spot.
Oh, they need it.
And Alaska is a little questionable.
They need it out there.
Yeah. They didn't get. They still haven't got their votes in. So you know.
So
And
so
speaking
would y'all
of,
like would y'all
oh, sorry, go
feel
ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, how would y'all feel like once like GameStop is like completely gone, like how would y'all feel?
I haven't thought about
I feel
GameStop.
nothing.
Yeah,
I
like what?
did nothing. I feel irritated that they keep coming up. That's I
There's still
feel
Amazon. There's
a
still
little bit
Best
better.
Buy. When you're desperate, I'll hurt
I
myself
want
and
my
go to
Power money back.
Walmart. Like
You say hurt yourself or go to Walmart?
I get so angry and annoyed whenever I have to go to a Walmart. Like I don't.
Yeah, I can't stand Walmart. I
Nah,
can't
man.
stand
Like
that store.
Now I can't stand the people who circulate in Walmart. Like that
look,
might be rude.
I didn't want to
but
get
it's the
into a
truth.
tech. I just call it
We
Yeah,
Walmart.
not
I just
go.
leave it there.
yeah.
We
I
not
didn't
go.
want to get into it, but I mean, you might be
Especially
on the
in
right track.
Virginia. Because God,
Here we go.
Yeah, I can only imagine in
done,
Fredericksburg. I
bruh.
can only
if
fucking imagine.
Here we go.
Fredericksburg was so fucking red, it irritated me. Like I just like
Mm.
I know it is red. Like I know like my wife and I are probably like the only two blue voters that were in here because like every other house in my neighborhood has a fucking Trump sign out. But I'm going off the point. But yeah.
All right. And so I guess speaking of fucking late stage capitalism, Activision Blizzard
Mm-hmm.
just posted a quarter in like over a billion, right? But
Oh
like,
wow, that's
yeah,
impressive.
over, bruh, 1.2
That's
billion
hard
last
for you.
quarter is what they netted,
Hmm.
That's a
and then
net,
that's a net.
Where my Activision stocks
That's a
at? I didn't know
net,
that.
dude. They're about
You
to
sure
pass
flex that?
Sony. They're about to pass Sony.
bruh. And now they're talking about they're gonna hire 2,000 new staff, but they just fired like at least 200 something people in
Yeah, they
Paris.
always
N-
Yep.
yeah.
But
They're
They're
you
always
gotta
always
firing.
they're always
rotate
shaving.
because you gotta get rid of the senior people
That's
because they
exactly what I
cost
was
too much
fucking
money.
thinking. It's like
Yeah,
that's exactly what that sounds like. They wanted to fire senior
get
folks and
some
hire
fresh
people.
college.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
Some
Grind their
fresh
bones to make
Especially
your
in the middle of
fucking
a
bread.
pandemic where college students are having a hard time getting jobs. They'll hire you on, make you work like a dog, and pay you a dog salary.
You
Dog.
know they got this from, right? They got this from the sports leagues. That's exactly how they
Mm-hmm.
do their players. they get you on your early contract where you're not worth much. 'Cause it's like, hey, you're a rookie, man. You can't really make all that money. Get you on your early
You're
contract,
Exactly.
still a
treat you
liability.
like a dog, and then
Yeah,
they cut
company.
you if they can. Like if you're not important enough to keep, which is most of the players, they cut you because they're willing to spend extra coin on the good players because they cut a bunch of the sorry players. So they got all that extra money. It's the sports. You basically like the sports leagues. It's like they want to keep you when you're young and when you're hungry, and then the moment that you realize you're worth something, they're like, "Yep, we're gonna go a different direction. Good luck on
Absolutely.
all
Terrible.
your future endeavors."
Fucking
Yeah,
terrible.
I can't even like it's Activision Blizzard. I mean they struck gold with the Call
Warcraft.
of Duty franchise,
Oh yeah.
Overwatch.
Overwatch. I mean they had uh
Warcraft,
War.
Starcraft.
Yeah, yep.
Wow. I mean, yeah,
But
Warcraft.
they drove. But that's just part of their whole thing. Like they just drive. Like it's so crazy. I was thinking about how long Call of Duty has been so dominant. Like it's been dominant since 2007, I think,
Hmm.
with
Longer than that.
Call of Duty Modern Warfare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, and
No, World at
Modern
War.
Warfare
nah,
2 was '07. Modern Warfare 2 was '07. And
nah, Modern Warfare
that
2 is '09, I believe.
Yeah, it was
was
And
'09.
it?
then yeah, Modern Warfare was '07, and '08 was World at War,
Yep.
and then Black Ops was after Modern Warfare 2.
Okay, I played Black Ops
I
in
thought it was
2010,
'07.
2011.
What the hell? What was I doing? Oh, yeah. That was a bad time.
Yo, I'm done.
Oh yeah.
But yeah,
That's
that battle royale
Yeah,
shit,
that.
like they struck gold again with Warzone, and that's why like they posting these huge ass
map shit.
quarters. So it's
Yeah.
it's
Sure.
it's
They're about to
it's
pass
crazy.
Sony. I can't get over that, dude. Like Sony's somewhere between 5 to 7 billion a year. Like before long, how's a publisher gonna pass a company like Sony? That's nuts.
Software. I
Yeah,
mean, software.
Sony just
Yeah,
loses money everywhere else. So it's like they
yeah,
don't
they're
really make
Yeah,
money
bleeding.
anywhere.
But
yeah.
what I know they don't want to do it out of pride, but they need to spin off some companies because everything sucks except for PlayStation. They're not really making any money off TVs. They're out
What
of the
happened?
computer game.
They used to be the shit. Like it was like an event that it was
They make great TVs
prideful.
still. They make great TVs, but they don't sell the most. And right now, right, the main technology, OLED, they don't make their own panels. That comes from LG. So they make the processor, or they work to have their own processor. Yeah, the cabinet, um, the case, but the real core technology, they're not making it. So if you're not making it, then the profits aren't going to be as big. LG's capturing all that. So I don't know what they do there. They gotta come up with technology again and be a leader. But yeah, I would if it were me, I'd spin all that stuff off. Have like Sony Electronics and try to IPO that crap and recoup some cash. Double down on the games business because that's what's making the bread, and be aggressive like Microsoft has been aggressive.
Yeah,
And things like
I agree.
because they don't make like computers anymore. So like TVs,
They don't make
uh,
phones anymore either, right?
no, they still
Nah, they
make
still make
phones.
phones.
Nobody buys them. Nobody buys them, but they make them.
They
Yeah,
still making them.
but I like how they
Microsoft still
look.
makes phones.
Their skin of Android always looks like trash to me. And I've always gotten burnt by not having pure Android. Whenever I have pure Android,
Mm.
it's always been bad. So I don't do that. Um, but but yeah, like they should just double down on games, sell those other businesses, or spin them off into IPOs and.
Yeah, send Spider-Man back to Marvel. By the way,
Yep. Send them right on home.
stop ruining our movies by
they
trying.
might be making some bread on the movie side, so
They
maybe
are.
they could keep that.
That's why
Yeah,
they
on the
did
movie
that
side, they're definitely
deal,
making bread.
and that's why they did that deal with Marvel, where they let Marvel basically jumpstart their Spider-Man because they're gonna take him away. They have no intention of keeping him. Uh,
With
In the
Disney.
Marvel movies.
they have no idea. They have no intention of partnering with Marvel by basically like, hey, let's profit share on these Spider-Man like movies. No, they're letting Marvel do all the stuff that they can't do because they can't seem to keep a Spider-Man story going beyond the first movie. So they're letting Marvel give the character uh like giving us like recognition, like of like, okay, Tom Holland. Whenever we see him, we think Spider-Man now, and then they're like, okay, once that happens, we'll just kickstart our own Spider-Man universe because that's the only character they have. But Spider-Man probably has the most villains out of all the singular heroes in the Marvel universe. So like they realize like, oh shoot, we can make, and there's so many different types of spider people, right? So like we can make, like they did with the Spider Verse. We can make a Spider Gwen movie. We can do a Spider Woman movie. Like they can do so many Spider People movies that they're gonna try to use that as one of their little revenue sources or streams is just Spider Man extended universe.
Well, that's why they tried to bring in like Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield for like a live action Into the Spider Verse type.
Yeah, I heard they were trying to do something like that. I don't think that would work. I think that's
No,
dumb.
I think they should stick to the Sinister Six
Yep.
and then bring in Venom and then
hmm
expand upon that. But
Yeah.
I guess we'll see.
Yeah. They're
Um,
super broke. That's the whole point.
you said
Sony owns X-Men? Can we verify that?
so what?
Does Sony own the X-Men?
No,
No.
X Men reverted back
X-Men
to
is from Fox,
yeah, so they reverted back to Marvel when Disney bought Fox.
and so Disney now owns X-Men.
Yeah.
So that's why they're
X
trying
Men
to
was
make.
Fox, Fantastic Four was Fox. Sony only owns Spider Man, and so that's why you didn't see X Men in this first iteration of the Marvel heroes, and
Yep.
and that's why Fantastic Four just died on the vine because Fox couldn't make a good movie to save their lives.
Yeah.
God, no.
And
All
so
of the
that's what they're trying to
Fantastic Fours are
do.
trash.
They're trying to remake X-Men, and they were thinking about doing like Avengers versus X-Men. And that's why like the whole multiverse thing was introduced in Infinity War, because now they can say like, oh, here's a new Iron Man from another universe who's gonna stay here, blah blah, blah. Or here's Ironheart, or here's the grown up version of Tony Stark's daughter who becomes Iron Man,
Or Spider Gwen can come in when they lose Tom
yeah,
Holland, and
yeah.
they
Or
can
they can
do
say, oh, hey, here's the Fantastic Four.
right.
But
They
will they be allowed to make a spider movie like that though?
Yes, it's just like remember they had a Quicksilver in
Silver Surfer.
no, they had a
Oh no,
Quicksilver
Quicksilver. I'm sorry,
in
yeah, you're right,
X
you're right,
Men,
right.
and they had a Quicksilver in the Avengers.
Yeah.
Remember?
Avengers.
Because Quicksilver belongs both to the X Men and to the Avengers because he's been on both teams.
Yeah.
So they were able to make a Quicksilver and a Scarlet Witch, who's also an X Men character. They're Magneto's children. So
But
the
they
fact
changed it.
yeah, they had to change. They couldn't. They
Changed the
don't have
story.
Magneto, so they
Yeah.
couldn't use Magneto, but they could use those two characters because they've spent a ton of time in the Avengers, so they belong to both stories. So it's likely that they can bring in Ace. They probably won't bring in Spider Gwen. They'll probably bring in Spider Woman because she's part of Sword, which is a different. It's not a Spider comic, right? So they can bring in a ton of different characters.
Well, that's
Uh,
Jessica Drew, right?
yeah, Jessica Drew, right, is Spider Woman, and her powers are actually different from Spider Man's, but that's never stopped movie people from mixing stuff together,
not ever.
Yeah.
right? So yeah, they're that's what yes, this clashing universes is to do that, and so that they
Yeah.
can bring in characters from all over the place.
That's why they can do it like Black Panther now, since
Yeah,
rest in peace to the homie
R.I.P.
Chadwick Boseman. They could bring in another person to take over Black Panther, take him as T'Challa, or have just Shuri, have Teacher Wright take over.
Side note, I know Suave's moving us along, but side note, I heard they were gonna bring back Michael B. Jordan at one point. I heard something about that. Like I was reading.
They did say that. They
I
Okay,
did
wouldn't
say
be
yeah.
that.
mad at that.
Interesting.
I wouldn't
They
be
were
mad
gonna
at
bring
that.
That
back
would be
Omar.
interesting.
He did a good
Marcus?
job. So
Oh, Maurice is saying he didn't die. So I mean, yeah, I guess it's possible. I guess
I
we'll see.
mean, he could have. Yeah, that's true. That he could have been put in a chamber or something.
Yeah.
This man saying now he's the Black Panther. This man stay trolling. Um. All right. So I mean, hey, we can. This man said Wakanda. I'm gonna stop reading this man messages because he out of pocket. He's saying anything. So we got season 7 of Apex the other day, yesterday, and I know a couple of
Yep.
us have been playing. I know Tech said he was fucking with it. How do y'all feel about it? Like I only just started. It feels like the same Apex it was day before yesterday. So what do y'all think? JK, Cress.
It's a fresh blood to the game. I like the Trident, and I like how they don't have it to where you can run people over and kill somebody. Even though it would be fun, but then people be like getting Trident, trying to run everybody over, and the game will start not being fun. Um,
True.
they brought out the R99 and put up the Prowler, I believe, in the
Oh,
care
they.
package.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And so, which I guess is okay, but to me it's still like the R99 is not even like the best quote unquote gun anymore. Like if you have a hemlock, you can beat that out with precise shots. But I like the new map. It's a different feel. I want to play with Horizon, see how she plays. Because it's a different. It's Creston said hit it right on the money. They literally turned Apex into Titanfall 2.
Mm.
Like
Basically,
they're basically turning that into like the new Titanfall, which I think would be very interesting if they go off of Apex and make another Titanfall
like I
and
think if
Apex
they,
in that universe. I
yeah, I
would say
think,
universe, but
yeah, I think if they do make another Titanfall, it has to interweave with Apex. Like
right,
that would be like a easy way to sell, so many copies. And that's
Yeah.
the cool thing about
That's low hanging fruit right there.
Apex. Yeah, I mean that's the cool thing about Apex and Titanfall in general is like you already had like a Titanfall 2 is already built out. Like it had all this like powers like cuz like if you look at all the legends, each legend has a power that was either in the Titan or was part of like the arsenal of a pilot in Titanfall. So like you have Pathfinder, which is basically it's just a perk where you can just like
grapple
grapple onto anything. And then even with the latest
with Horizon.
yeah, that was just a grenade in Titanfall 2. Like her
Yep.
ultimate was just a grenade. And so it's like they had all this shit like already built and all they had to do is just like build upon it. The only thing like even this new map is basically it looks like Titanfall. It really hammers home that like yeah, like we are in like the Titanfall universe because there's um there's like a couple maps that look just like that map in the regular Titanfall. So I like that. I just hope that Apex is a Trojan horse to get more people interested in Titanfall. Because once like the whole battle royale shit like fizzles out, I hope that people are
Goes with
able
Transformers.
to, yeah, like it'll just be like, all right, like cool, like y'all tired of like this battle royale shit, but like we got Titanfall, which is like straight up just regular shooter, deathmatch and all that good stuff. So
Which I wish they would put this in. I wish they would put wall runs in.
yeah, they I bet I wouldn't be surprised if one of the new legends has the wall running ability.
Yeah,
Like
that'd be so
that.
annoying because that
Yeah,
everybody would start using that.
exactly.
I
So
think they should just make it universal to where everybody can wall run. But I see what you're saying. It will be
Wasn't
tough.
that one of the people's complaints about Titanfall though? Is the wall running? Were they like when people like upset about like
Dog,
the
Titanfall,
nah,
literally you can change the course of the game by utilizing the wall run and getting onto a Titan, taking the battery, and
dog, it's
like
so fucking
you
tight.
can
I
change
I
the
enjoyed that
pace of the
game
game.
a lot. I
That game
enjoyed that
is
game
so
The
good.
game was excellent. Like it
I just
was.
wish I wasn't trash though. That's the
a
problem.
lot.
So trash at that game,
Like
I enjoyed
but
it.
it was fun.
I remember when me and Crescent played randomly one day and we just tore up the entire team. Like it was like I wish
Is
they
it?
had executions too. I wish they had
It does.
not talking about like so we have executions somebody gets down, but like if you sneak up on somebody and you hit them from behind and execute them in Apex.
Oh, you're talking about Apex. Oh, yeah, yeah. No, they have it in Titanfall. Like you
Yeah, in
just sneak up
Titanfall.
on
Oh yeah, I remember. I
you sneak
remember.
up you sneak up on somebody, just that
You
shit.
can grapple somebody and literally like do an execution.
Dog, that game is man. I just thinking about it. I'm just like, man, I don't understand like I don't understand how Fortnite is so popular, but yet like
Yo.
Titanfall, but
No,
yet like
I get it.
Titanfall 2
I
is like the bald headed stepchild. Like they
I
I don't
get
get
it.
it. I don't get it.
Fortnite is simple. It's
It's the
silly,
demographic.
and the demographic is everyone, right?
Yep.
So it's like everyone. Titanfall is not. That's a. I mean, you got to be you got to be at least. You have to at least like first person shooters. One, most of the time you have to at least be decent at them, right? Because Titanfall is complicated. Like there's a lot of stuff you can do. Therefore, it makes the game more complicated. So it's like Call of
It's
Maurice
Duty
so
is simple.
fucking
makes
tight.
a
It's
good
so
point. Not
tight.
to interrupt you, my bad. Maurice makes a good point though. You can play Fortnite on a cell phone. Fortnite is available everywhere. You can play Fortnite on a laptop. Like I think like a couple of my kids play on like a MacBook Air. Like, and I mean, it doesn't play
Yeah.
well, but they don't give a fuck. Like, kids do not
Yeah, you
care.
can put it on them digital refrigerators, like the little refrigerator
Right.
Yeah.
games.
You can play it
You can
every, and so
download
Playing
that's
on a
what makes it.
Samsung.
yeah, on them Samsung refrigerators with
Yep.
the
I
TV.
thought they were
Yeah.
bringing it
It's
to.
everywhere.
I thought they were bringing it mobile. Apex.
I haven't seen it.
I thought because they were bringing it to the Switch, and they're
Yeah, that
bringing
shit
it
got
to.
delayed.
Oh
Yeah,
damn.
It got delayed till next
it
year.
got delayed to next
Fortnite
year.
already
Yeah.
got all them bases covered. Like you
True.
can't
I mean,
escape
but
it. You can't
that's
escape it.
the power. That's just the power of the Unreal Engine. Like
Yep. This
them
man.
being able to
That's right.
them being able to scale, all of that stuff like so easily on so many devices. Like that's just
True.
power of that technology. And then on top of that, like the game, like the art isn't, that complex. It's
No, it's not.
super,
Not at all.
easy to scale up and down. So yeah, I mean, it's just lightning in a bottle. Like it's a game
Mhm.
that just like it wasn't like it didn't start off like the game was in like basically limbo for a good like 3-4 years
Yeah.
Pretty much.
until they pivoted into battle royale, and that's when the shit just
Took
blew
off
up. So
like
it was an
crazy.
accident,
I
but
feel
And
like
that's how it
I
be.
still I'm still mad.
I feel like in a year, maybe two, there's a few web platform technologies that are going to drop, and I think all of those things are going to come to browsers. So
Mm,
think about a PWA install of all of these games. I think that would take it to even another level. Like
true.
you, so
Yeah.
web GPU and WebAssembly threads. So both of those are not like everywhere yet. I think Chrome has WebAssembly threads, just hit stable a little while ago, and it's going to be a while before web GPU is a thing in all the browsers. But I think once you have those two things, yeah, then now you could have a PWA of a potential AAA game, and that thing actually be smooth.
True. Maybe
We'll
so.
see. That would
I
be cool.
Respawn is definitely trying to take a page out of Fortnite's book, like with all their like making Fortnite essentially into a creative platform for all these different crossovers that they've done, like with the Travis Scott thing, and damn, they had
Hmm.
some other shit. I don't forgot already.
Marvel, Star
Why does he
Wars,
get
Yep.
so much
Batman.
love?
I don't
I
get it
have
either.
no
Thank you.
idea. I don't like
I
Fortnite
don't.
and I don't like that nigga. Like, how
He,
did they
I
both?
don't.
he dated
What is
he
Travis
dated a
Scott? I don't
Kardashian.
understand him. What
Look,
He
is
dated
he?
a Kardashian for
look,
like a year and a
his
half. Now
Jordans are
he's in.
fresh
No, his
though.
Jordans are worth tens. You can his the
They're
Cactus
super
Jacks.
fresh.
What are they? They're like $10,000 on resale. Which I
U.S.
didn't even. I was
dollars,
like, U.S.
Oh, dead
bro,
serious.
bro.
No, he's serious.
bro. When those things dropped, first of all, Nike knows exactly what they're
Seconds and
doing.
they're
They
gone.
drop a small. As soon as they dropped price,
Sold out.
you go to like any of those resellers, like the big reseller
StockX,
stores, like StockX or Goat.
GOAT.
You go there to look at like shoes. Freaking $10,000 for a size 10. I was
God
like, who's
damn,
buying $10,000 shoes?
bro. I
Them
I
question
dudes
don't
who
that
get
But
wear
it.
the
they're
answers.
I'd
I
show up
don't
to the
get.
gym and
You said I should
you
fit.
see,
yeah.
You
people
gonna
would
get
beat you to death.
robbed.
Yeah.
They beat you to death just on principle. If you showed up in those Travis Scotts and played
Look,
basketball,
not if I paid 10 grand for them, but if I was one of the 1,000 people that got it in the first 5 seconds,
they
show
would
up to the
still
gym and
beat you to death. The shoe is worth $10,000 whether you paid it or not. They'll
look,
beat you to
No,
death.
that's worth
cry about
like
it.
that's worth more than like people's cars in that parking lot.
Bruh.
pretty much.
Yeah,
Maurice,
yeah,
Like
Maurice
seriously.
asked if we've seen
absolutely.
the Travis Scott PlayStation shoes. I haven't.
Yes, and they're
Oh
very
boy.
nice. They're
I just
very,
don't
very
get
nice.
this motherfucker,
I
dog.
just,
I don't
I
get
don't
it.
get why
I don't
he dated the Kardashian. So one
that
thing I know
ah,
about him,
and he
dude,
survived, which
no,
is
it's
which is
not
a
about
nigga
the
said if he
testament.
survivor.
survived, I'm dead.
They make their men more famous.
Yep.
And they
So
sucked
like
the life out of him, Lamar
yeah,
Odom.
well, it's the trade off. That's the trade off.
Only
You
a
go in
few.
there knowing that you could probably that they could probably destroy you, and you're just hoping that you're like, no, I can come out stronger. Because like I've listened to his music, it's not the greatest music I've ever heard, and I don't think he's the greatest anything in the field of rap that I've ever heard. I don't think he has a single thing that I'm looking at like, oh yeah,
That's in the
that
sicko
that
mode.
Right.
that makes sense. Sicko Mode is Drake, not I mean he's in it. It's Travis Scott's song, but Drake's it's Drake.
Yeah.
That's just
I
like
will.
that. That's like that joint with what's that dude that I also don't get? Fuck man, I can't think of his name, but he featured J. Cole on there, and like literally
21.
with one, yeah, 21 Savage. That one verse killed that whole song, and like that and 21 Savage, like that shit sound like somebody made that shit in SoundCloud. Like that shit was terrible.
Inside.
Like he sounds like a SoundCloud rapper. Like I don't get it. Like I don't get like I don't know. I know I'm a recovering hip hop snob. I admit that. But like
Mhm.
I honestly just don't get like what like I don't get the allure of 21 Savage. I don't get the allure of Travis Scott. I don't like to me like a good hip hop artist is somebody that blends, good lyrics with, it-
A good
sh-
sound.
yeah, like a good sound. But hip hop to me is like you gotta have like them lyrics. Some lyrics gotta be on point. And
No, you
so
don't. That's the problem. I wish that was true.
I know,
I'm a
and
lyrics guy
and
too,
I'm
but
and I know I'm out of touch with that. So it's just like I when I see somebody like Travis Scott, like I don't get it. Like when I listen to his music, I'm like, I don't get it. Like,
see,
why is this
some people don't
motherfucker
want
so
to.
popular?
Some people don't want to. Sometimes that like the problem with music is sometimes people want to listen to it and they don't want to think. So, like you can't put Black Thought on and just like hear the song, right? Because
Yeah,
he's the highlight. So you want to hear his lyrics. So it's like sometimes people don't want to think, and I think that kind of music is more popular because that's the common state for people. It's like they're trying to escape. So like you're
Yeah.
trying to
yeah,
get out of something.
Yeah. No, I
yeah.
feel.
We're
I
gonna have to
mean,
have a hip hop podcast
I
like
feel
We
both
do,
of
soon
we do,
y'all.
because
we
Um,
absolutely do.
I guess at the same time, real quick before we move on, like for me, I used to try to put my little brother on, and he was just like,
what is
that
this?
was exactly his attitude. He was like, yeah, I don't want to do all that thinking. I'm like, bro, are you?
When I hear Black Thought rap, I get upset. I go and get my notebook, and then I realize, man, I ain't gonna be that good. Like I'm like, wait a minute, no, wait a minute. What can I do?
Not this.
Man.
Not
Uh,
that.
but
Oh,
I
did y'all hear
did
real
give
quick?
some of these niggas a chance. 21 got some good shit. Not good in the lyrical way, but good in the like this shit bang
It
way. Like
sounds good, but that's the producer though, and the engineer. Like
I'm
that's
okay with
them.
that in my spirit. I've had
No,
to
me too.
reconcile it. You know.
No, me too. But I'm
I'm
saying
s-
I'm not like a 21 Savage fan because of that song. I'm like, dang, whoever
Oh
made this
yeah,
beat really did, made something that
word.
I can listen.
yeah.
No, that's a
I
fact.
haven't reconciled that. I'm still I still equate like good lyrics with like a good song, and it's
Who'd you
very rare.
who were you
Huh?
asking if we heard, Preston?
What'd you say?
Who were you gonna ask if we heard before we moved on?
No,
Fuck, I forgot.
no, damn.
The new Busta Rhymes album.
Which one? Because I would say which song. I like the Anderson .Paak song. You?
I'm
I
trying to
love that.
think. So I listened that's just 20 tracks. So I listened to half of it.
See,
I listened to
Yeah.
like 3 or 4.
Wow, that's content. Wow.
Yeah,
no
hell
bull.
yeah.
It's
I mean, what
Busta
shit?
Rhymes.
When was his last album? He had time. Uh,
That's what I'm
Damn.
saying. But he went the old Buster, which was good because he was trying to like hang with the youngins the last couple albums. I was like,
Nah,
dog, like
don't do that. Don't do that.
you need to
Oh,
stop
this
isn't
that.
it
this is not
called
true.
Extinction Level 2.
Decision Level 2? Yeah. Cause he
Oh
was
man.
signing them. I saw a video he was signing. He was like, "Yeah, I went back to my old days. Yeah, this shit been in the making for years." I was like, "Oh shit."
Bus is people be sleeping on Bus.
Oh yeah.
No,
There.
no.
All right, so we gonna put a pin in that.
Yeah, we
But
gotta do it. We gotta do a hip hop
where
podcast. Like,
where where? So Watch Dogs Legion had their source code leaked. Like some apparently hacker got
I
in, got
would.
some
That's
Wait,
info.
so
Well,
funny. Isn't that kind of
did they use
ironic?
Unreal?
I know it is ironic. That's super ironic.
Right.
Like
bro.
Watch Dogs is
I don't
all
know if
about
they used
hacking.
Unreal.
Somebody was like,
You can bet.
Watch Dogs got Watchdog.
Basically.
How
Basically.
like how do
That's
you?
cool. That's cool.
Apparently
Do they
it's
use Unreal though?
I don't know what they use actually.
I don't know. I think they have their own engine because
Okay.
it's
Carl was
Ubisoft.
oh, real quick.
No,
Right.
I might want to take a little look. See what can I
Hey,
say?
shit,
Yeah,
you ain't
I
gonna be
kind of
taking
did
no
too.
little look. See, that shit is almost 600 gigabytes.
I mean, get an SSD really quick.
Get right. Just pick, yeah, hey, look, if they use Unreal, I'm gonna make a way.
I need to
Basically.
figure this stuff out, man.
Hey, I feel you. Listen,
I
they say
Right.
was
you can download
actually
it.
I was actually watching a video earlier about how they program the AI. Like they did a lot of stuff like using spreadsheets. Let me I'll link the uh I'll link to the video I was watching. But does anybody play Watch Dogs?
I played 1 and 2. I haven't played them.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, it just seems
Not a chance.
this one just seems a little too much too like it has too many choices and shit. I don't want to I don't care about switching characters and shit like that. Like just give me a story that I can follow and I'm good. But
Yeah,
it's like they want you to like utilize the whole sandbox. And I'm like, I don't feel like doing all that shit. That's too much work.
yeah.
I
It's
think the
it's an
concept is
interesting concept.
interesting. Yeah,
Yeah,
like the no NP, like you can play any character you see. Like it sounds
Yeah.
like it would be fun. I guess I'm gonna have to, try it
That
and
just
see if.
comes off as unfocused to me.
Oh damn, damn.
Nah, like it's
But
just like
I hear you.
gimmicky,
You're
Yeah,
uh
trying to flex technical
shallow,
muscles. That's
yeah,
all that is.
shallow.
true.
But I can see
Um,
how people can,
yeah.
people that are into, open world games that will really just love getting engrossed in a world. I can see
Mm-hmm.
how this can be very alluring, but yeah, to me,
Yeah, like be part of it
I
for real.
yeah, I can't fuck with it.
Mhm.
I
It's a
got you.
like I yeah. Sorry,
Not
go
cool.
ahead. I'll say Watch Dogs when it first came out was an interesting. It was a fun game because I remember when it first came out and you could like hack people's phones and steal money from like rich people and just that's what I used to do. I used to steal money from rich people, go to cash registers, cut ATM, steal money, like
Facts.
blow up like the electrical grid and shit. So like it was interesting, but I think how they structured it now uh, is it was well how they structure it now. I think they try to put too much into it at one time because they're like, oh, Watch Dogs is such a good game, blah, blah, blah. And so kind of like Assassin's Creed, like they put a lot into Origins, they put a lot into
Yeah, they bloated it. They
and
added so much bloat.
yeah, because Assassin's Creed gone from like you killing and assassinating people to like you being
Battling like
a
20
warrior.
motherfuckers at the same time.
Yeah,
It basically turned into Shadow of Mordor. And
yeah,
that's
pretty much.
Oh,
basically what it turned
Jesus.
into.
That is like 10 games in one. Like
Yeah,
what? It's
yeah,
it's
and
interesting. I don't.
yeah,
I
and
couldn't fuck
two
with it.
Watch Dogs 2, since it had a black character, was one of the main reasons why I played it. And playing it, it goes to show like it showed like a hacker, a black hacker that's like going against a corrupt system and is recruited because he was wrongfully persecuted for a crime he didn't do. And so he was in the system, and he was like, "Well, shit, I'm about to go wipe my entire history from this system." And and so one thing I do like about two was that you can create your guns through a 3D printer,
Mm.
and so like you can have like a full auto rifle 3D printed and use that. So
That came
but,
out at the perfect time, like, because that's right when like 3D printers are really starting to
right,
take off. You know?
right, and now like you can
Don't they
shit.
put
I saw
software to
somebody do
stop
that.
you from doing that now?
Well,
Oh wow.
they stop you from making making it to an automatic.
Oh damn.
But
Like
there should
Yeah.
be an easy workaround for that. Like whatever piece is missing, just print it separately.
Right. Just don't make it part of the same project.
Yeah.
Yeah, true. I'm sure
yeah,
that there's ways
so
around
like
that shit.
yeah, so like people might make the butt stocks, so you can make a 3D printed butt stock instead of going to buy one. And so
Mm,
they made it illegal to do that because butt stocks make it automatic, which in a sense that's not true. Like it's just a spring really
yeah,
that
this
makes
makes
it
it easy. It reduces that recoil.
yeah.
This bruh. Uh
Okay.
speaking of guns, Call of Duty has or not, I don't know, fucking Activision and them have released like when you can start preloading Cold War. I know
Our
JK
pre-
you
I think it's
pre-ordered that
preloaded.
thing. And they
Yeah,
started
it's
talking about when you can not when you can, but how much space you're gonna need to get
dog.
it.
That's a lot of space for
How
Yeah.
much they
like
say? How much they say?
it's
For
like a
Xbox One is 93. Xbox Series X is 136. I assume because they have
But
like,
that's less than
upscaled textures and shit.
the current Call of Duty.
Oh,
well.
it'll
Here's
get
the,
there.
Right,
you
they
get
go
there right.
That
the
that
current
number
Call of
is
Duty been out for a
very
little while.
Yeah,
yeah.
it'll
And
get
so here's
there.
the thing with that is that for PC players, you can choose what you want to download. So if you want
Yeah,
multiplayer
exactly.
only,
You can
it's
do
like
that in Xbox too, but then they force you to like they tell you
file
you
the
can choose
damn
what you want
code.
to download,
Yeah.
and then as soon as you don't download that other stuff, and then you try to play multiplayer, like oh wait, you ain't got
Right.
Need
You
this.
like
still need you
what
missing
you
this one right
said.
here.
I'm
What
like,
you said was
and so I think
They don't
what
care
they're
about
doing is
that.
they're integrating into like a multiplayer pack. So like instead of getting like 4 or 5 things, they're integrated into one, which makes it like 19 gigs. And then you got the other stuff, which like the zombie mode and stuff like that, which everybody's gonna get. And so that's another I think 10 or 15 or whatever. So but
And
I
how
think
many
it's
days beforehand they let you download it? You
today
need
actually.
Like,
a
yep,
It's
you can
today.
start for Xbox One, you can start today, and then for PC they start on the 10th. And
Yeah.
like PlayStation is also today. So console today, PC in 5 more days.
I still
why
haven't
they hating on
decided.
PC like that?
I don't know.
Oh yeah, I still haven't decided like if I
Do you want
do
to
get it, like what platform I get it for. Cause
Well, I'm getting it for my Series X because can't get no PlayStation right now.
Is it cross platform? Like I mean, it is a
It's
cross
cross
platform.
platform.
yeah,
Um,
crossplay.
It's cross generation too.
okay. No, I was
Yeah,
thinking about see, I don't want to have to buy it twice, and I think that's what you're getting at, right? Like I want to
yeah.
buy
That's
it one
but
time.
that's the thing. They've been like intentionally deceptive with the shit.
Mm,
So like so on the Xbox, so they have basically the same box for Xbox One version and Xbox Series X and S version. The only difference is that they have like this little like disclaimer that says like uh Xbox One and then Xbox Series X compatible, which is the Xbox One version, but then it says Xbox Series X and S and then Xbox One compatible. And it's like the way that they differentiated it is just like is one of them is just like backwards
Optimized.
basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, so a lot of people are gonna get fucked over because if you buy the physical at least because it says like oh if I just buy the $60 Xbox One version I'll be good because I can still play it on Series X, but you're really playing the Xbox One version. You're not playing the
Optimized
the
version.
the
It's not.
optimized
It's not
version.
smart delivery. They're not doing smart
Right.
delivery.
Yeah. So you're
That's why they
basically
should get that cross-gen bundle to where you can get it and
you can
buy it.
get yeah, and that's where they charge you more. They charge you that $70 if you want to
Yeah.
get the optimized and then
Just
also
get
the cross
digital,
gen.
guys. Just get the
Facts.
digital.
Well,
Come
that's
Yeah.
the thing.
on.
You
Yeah,
can't buy the digital version of the Series X yet.
Why not?
I
It's
think it's
not out.
included in the cross-gen bundle though, and the
It's
ultimate.
included in the cross-gen bundle. So when you get your Series X on day one, when you transfer all your stuff, you
So
can
they're
automatically
essentially paying. You're essentially paying for the ability to pay it 10 days early or a
Nah,
week
download
early.
it. Yeah, preload
Yeah,
it.
download.
preload it. Yeah, because
Yeah.
they know
So
the
that on
shit.
the day of, you can play. You don't have to wait.
Yeah.
You just gotta, they just gotta flip the switch and you can play.
And that's an extra $10 for the pleasure of downloading it early.
Yeah,
No, it's $10. I think it's $10 just for the optimized version of.
it's $10
But
to have it
but
on
but if
both,
I
right?
waited till the 10th, I don't have to pay that $10. I just get the
No,
Series
you
X
still gotta
version.
pay the
If
You
you
ten
still got to pay
dollars.
in the
$10.
Oh, do you? What? You can't just.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. They're not
yeah.
selling like on the Series X. Even
Like
if
they
you.
know,
They know
like
people want to
Oh,
wait.
what the fuck? Okay, I'm looking at the thing now.
yeah.
This is
It's
wild. So
So
like,
explain it to me. I'm confused. I'm confused.
all
Explain
right.
that.
So check this out, Carl. They got the game right. There's
Yeah.
the Xbox One version. That is the version that you are paying for when you get the standard version of the game.
Yes.
And you can play it on Series X, but it's not gonna
But
be
it's
optimized for Series X.
got it.
Then they sell you the $10 upgrade, and that's the cross-gen bundle, quote unquote, where you get the Xbox One version and you get the Xbox One Series X version. That'll be it'll be for the Series
Mm-hmm.
X, not just like
Right.
playable, compatible, whatever the fuck.
so you're
Mm-hmm.
basically paying for the smart delivery, basically.
Yeah,
Yes.
textures and
Yes.
shit.
Yeah,
Which they lied about because they said day one you would get it for free.
yeah. Well, Microsoft, they were trying to. It's funny because like they were really like early this year when they were talking about smart delivery and they were really advertising that. They were saying that, yeah, like nobody's gonna force you, like we're gonna make sure that nobody forces you to pay for
Two games.
yeah, basically. And so I was like, yeah, try telling that to Activision. And then sure enough, Activision was like, nah, y'all motherfuckers paying. Y'all motherfuckers paying. Like it's you already know. I mean, y'all know what y'all getting. Like that's the thing with
So
Activision. Like they're shameless. They're like, fuck it. Like you all know why y'all are here. You all want to play the latest Call of Duty.
Especially
You want to
now.
play if you want to play the optimized version of it, you just gotta cough up that money. That's
Yeah.
all. Like you want to play it. That's just that's the deal.
okay. Okay.
Yep. Pretty
So let
much.
me ask you this. All right. Month from now, December 10th, I want Call of Duty Series X. I'm still spending $10 more.
Yep.
No, that's not. Oh well, I think
I
by
Yeah,
mean, they don't have.
I
They
mean
have
it
not.
depends.
Well, I'll
It
say they
depends.
haven't made any indication that they're gonna change it. Like right now, what
Yeah,
they have on the website, if they keep going by that, then yes,
So
yeah.
that means are they? Does that mean they're just always going to charge $10 more for Series X games? Because to me, then
they
that's just
better
sounding
fucking
like
not.
they.
Yeah,
That's
I
what
mean
that sounds
that's the
like.
new price. That's the new price for next gen games going
Well,
79.
forward.
Yeah.
It's $70.
uh,
And
Because
yeah,
that's
so
what PS5 is doing the same thing. Like all of their games, all their new games, like Demon Souls is $70.
God,
That Destruction All Stars nonsense that went before that they
Is that like
uh
PlayStation All Stars?
no,
it's
it's like a
it's like
it's
Destruction Derby mixed
twisted
with
metal type game.
Twisted Metal, but
mm,
it's no
Yeah,
shooting, so it's not Twisted Metal, but kind of. And then you got like some Overwatch
that
in there
could be
because
fun.
everybody's like hero. Yeah,
That
and it's
sounds
gonna
like the
be
crap I'd play.
and it's gonna be free. It's gonna be free on PlayStation Plus. But before they added it to PlayStation Plus, that shit was gonna be $70 too.
Yeah.
So $70 is like
Come on,
it's
man.
agreed. And then I think 2K, I think the new 2K Series X and PS5 version, I think that's $70. They were the first ones to be like, yo, $70, like y'all motherfuckers paying for that shit.
Yeah.
Like y'all know damn well y'all
I know
niggas
y'all want
y'all
to
get this shit.
Yeah.
Look,
Bruh.
I,
So
you know what I think?
that's
I
why Game Pass
think
is so alluring.
exactly, which is why I think those uh
Squash Gym
cross
bundles.
platform publishers are just going to start going with Sony more. I think there's going to be more partnerships with Sony because there's going to be little incentive for Xbox people to be spending that kind of money when they have Game Pass.
Yeah.
They're going
That
to
is
be paying
true.
more Game Pass games, and they're like, "Oh,
Why
well,
would I pay full
we're
price
not
for a
pushing."
game?
Yeah, and the publisher's going to look at it like, "Okay, well, we're not really pushing any units on Xbox, so
Yeah.
let's try to get
Like
more deals done with PlayStation and exclusivity and stuff." So
Yep.
it'll be
it's gonna be
interesting.
like Amazon Prime. How Prime like they're starting to see people are not don't own the movies or that they're watching on Prime and they're
Yeah, I
watching
Why
knew that
would
a
you
long
buy it?
time ago.
Yeah.
I knew that. I figured that a long time ago. I mean, they tell you that, but nobody reads the what you got. But I just figured a long time ago. I was like, wait a minute, where is this going? And when I tried to look and see if I could download the movie in some way, shape, or form, and once I realized no, there's no way to download the movie, I was like, well, then I don't own it. It's
Yeah.
just the
Yeah.
right
So,
to. I basically pay them full price, the price I would pay to own the actual digital copy. I mean, the actual DVD copy or Blu-ray copy. Uh,
pretty much.
just like I pay them that price in order to just have access to it. But what I heard was that technically, even if you buy the Blu-ray, that's still a license to watch the movie, and that the only difference is it's unlikely that if they wanted you to stop watching it, that they would actually send somebody to come get your copy of the movie. So it's
Yeah.
like even when you own the Blu-ray, you don't own the movie. You don't even own that copy of the movie. You own
A
they
license to view
basically
it.
pay for a license which can be revoked at any moment, so that they can
Mm.
be like, hey, you can't watch this movie no more. And if they wanted to, they could send somebody to
Like,
come
hey
get
nigga, cough up that Blu-ray. You don't watch that shit no more.
Facts. Come knocking on your door. We need that motherfucking Blu-ray back.
which is
God damn it.
crazy.
I
Like Gamefly or some shit. But
hmm
All right.
yeah,
um,
that's why I was asking y'all
that
a couple
makes me
weeks ago.
angry.
Yeah, I feel you, Carl. It's
That
it's not a
makes
good feeling.
makes me want to like I I need to get my hacking skills up. I'm not saying I'm gonna do anything, but
Never
I
would
just need
never
to
do anything
have
like that.
those skills on tap because
True.
people getting crazy out here.
Me done.
Oh, like you just have a license, all right?
But all in all, that's why I was asking a couple weeks ago, like, should I cancel my pre-order for the Xbox One X or for my Xbox?
You don't even know which version you got now. You gotta
Look,
double check that shit.
I think the ideal situation is for you to keep it upon receiving it, mailing it to South Florida, and yeah, I think that
Just for
I think
verification.
that's
For
what
verification
you really
purposes.
what you want to do. Yeah,
I mean,
Make sure
I
you got the
provide
right one.
feedback.
I got the cross-gen bundle and it's digital, so I
Oh,
can't really
dude.
send it to you. But nice try.
What are you talking about? I don't see I don't see what the issue is. Those are details.
We don't need to worry about that.
Look, this is after the election. We could trust the postal service.
Bruh.
Let's go ahead and do
Oh,
it.
dude.
Oh Lord,
All
that's
right.
why that's why we can't have nice things.
Wow. We all right, we're running a little short on time, so I'm gonna skip Among Us. But they got some new shit coming. They, got some new moderation shit where you can report people, some colorblind support, anonymous voting, all type of chaotic shit.
Thank you,
Um,
billions.
like they got ways for you can hide the taskbar and shit like that. It sounds
Yeah.
like it's gonna be cool. I'm gonna drop y'all the link if y'all want to check it out. I'll probably be playing with my family this weekend. We'll see.
Hmm.
See what happens.
You're gonna
Um,
learn not to trust some people.
you said what? You just learned how to
You're
trust
gonna learn
people.
Yep.
But that Bethesda had some kind of big news. I feel like, talking about Starfield, their next big RPG, getting a new game engine and a bigger map than
Good.
Fallout 76.
They need to been they should have been updated that
I
goddamn
No.
engine.
Bro, like, why are you just not like you announced Starfield like last year? Well, like, how are
Yeah.
you? How is this news now? A year later, that it's getting a new like that should have been like a prerequisite.
Man, that engine has been struggling. I'm telling you, like that. They yeah, like that whole I mean, that's why Fallout 76 was so trash. Like, I mean, the engine just wasn't built for that, and it had to Frankenstein it to basically get it to work. And then by the time they Frankenstein it, when people were playing it, they was like, "Oh, this is boring." Like, you basically made a shooting, like you made Fallout 76 into it. Like, you made a Fallout game that's a shooter, and shooting in Fallout is garbage. And that's just why, like, they have the VAT system in the regular Fallout, because the shooting is so garbage that you needed to slow it down just to kind of, like, make it more palatable. But then you take away VATs, and then you have this other bullshit that they had. I forget the name of it. But yeah, I mean, you just like, Fallout is not a good shooter. So 76 is just was uh, doomed on launch. Like, that game is terrible. So I heard it's gotten a lot better now, because it's basically turned back into Fallout. Like, they had to put like NPCs in there. It's like, dog, like this, like that was like a big update to that shit. It was like, yo, like we made it into Fallout again. I was like, all right, like, I guess. So it's good news that they finally updated their goddamn engine, because that thing was creaking.
Facts.
Be like that.
And so that's kind of it for like upcoming game news. We got two little esports things. Um, the what does this stand for? I was the what the fuck? The International Olympic Committee has basically said that they are not going to consider any esport as an Olympic sport, um, which
Oh,
is hurtful to
they don't
people
need they don't
who
but
want to
they
I was
play.
gonna
don't
say
but that's the thing. They don't need the fucking
Olympics.
Olympics.
No,
I
Like,
that's
mean,
what I'm saying.
the way that Olympics works is like the players are like it is like, you don't need them. Like, it's completely, it's
It's
its own
unnecessary.
thing. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's unnecessary. Like, it's just a way for everybody to it's just a way to kind of be legitimized, like that esports is like
exactly.
in the eyes,
legitimate
in the eyes of who though? Like you don't
in
need
in the eyes of like in the regular, like, your mom and pop's generation, like. But
And
it's like,
not
yeah,
just
like,
them, but
esports is
like
already.
they're
they're
trying to
not
raise
checking for
money. They're trying to bring in ad money. They're like they want
yeah,
investors and they
but
want shit like that.
but you're not gonna, who cares if the Olympics recognizes them? How many sports are recognized by the Olympics that don't make any ad money? Like how many of y'all are really watching like the triathlons and all that stuff, or the biathlons?
Badminton, badminton, bankroll.
Badminton, curling, right?
Yeah,
Curling is a
yeah,
joke. That's the only reason people
exactly.
talk about it because it's silly, right? Like, I mean, I'm sure there are people in I'm sure none of our viewers like curling, but
You said
there are
Well,
people
they
in the
exist.
the
world who like it,
precision.
You said the
right? So
precision.
like, but I'm just saying, like, it's there's so many sports in the chess is legitimized, right? But nobody's gonna watch a chess tournament. I'm sorry, ain't nobody watching that. Like,
Unless you're really into it.
yeah,
Like, you
you
Yeah,
gotta
have to
be
be a
into it.
chess
yeah.
nerd to even understand what's going on. So it's like the moves don't like. There's no excitement unless you're like so into it, so such a chess geek that you can tell what somebody's gonna do, or you can see the trap that somebody's setting for somebody. Like that kind of stuff doesn't come to like the average viewer, but it's still recognized by the Olympics. That like
But I mean,
you're gaming. What you need to do is create a group of like you just need to create a group of I don't know. I like you just need to create like a membership, like its own association, like an NBA or whatever. That'll
mhm.
legitimize it enough. And if you want to make that global,
It's
make it global.
but it's
But
already that's the thing. Like, it's already legitimized. Like, it doesn't need this
that's what I'm
old
saying.
archaic system to come in and be like, "Oh, we deem you athletes and you all are." are
They
welcome into the Olympics. Like, nah,
they're
like
already filling stadiums now.
exactly.
They
That's
don't
what I'm
they
saying.
don't they don't need the Olympics. The Olympics is just gonna hold them back because now they gotta wait every 4 years to really do their thing, which
Yeah,
I
doesn't
mean,
make
I
sense.
don't
exactly.
think it would work like that. Like the NBA doesn't wait every 4 years to play. Like the NBA plays every year, and then the like
But the
America
NBA doesn't play
competes.
in the Olympics, right? But the NBA
I mean,
is
word, but I'm
worldwide as
saying it
well.
could be the same. It could be the same thing with gaming,
Yeah,
and I don't think
why don't you
like
just do that? You just come together every 4 years and play and like why don't you have create organizations within the countries and just
And
have those
there's
come together? Like
and
because
there's
the
that's not a
already
Olympics gets more recognition. They like the esports is getting super big, but that's among people like us. We're aware of it already. Like we are the people watching chess that you're talking about. Like we're the people that's super into it, and that's why we're aware of it.
right.
But the Olympics is gonna get so many more people looking at like no
Even
on a regular day I'm not gonna turn on the TV and be like damn I want to
but
watch some curling.
but
But
they
if you're
already
talking
tried that.
about the people who are the best of the best of the best doing their thing, it's like I might tune into that.
the only way
Let me
Man,
see
you're
what's
gonna
going
get me
on.
to
nobody's
watch
gonna watch like
curling is
League of
if there's an
Legends.
HBCU team that somehow made it into the Olympics and they're curling. That's the only way I'm gonna watch it. Like it's black people, like some kids from FAMU was out there like freaking cool runnings
This
in like the basketball gym after during when basketball season was over and they slicked up the floor real good and been practicing curling and now they're in the. That's the only way I'm watching curling. I don't care if the U.S. even wins the championship in curling. Like the Olympics is that kind of thing where everybody doesn't watch every event. You look at the schedule, you say, "Oh, when are they racing? When are they swimming? When are they playing basketball? When are they doing this? When are the girls playing soccer? Because ain't nobody checking for the men right now. So like when is that happening? Right?
Yeah.
That's when you watch the Olympics. You're not actually watching like the whole thing. Who's watching the
no
whole
no
thing?
nobody watches the
You
whole
watch
thing.
their event. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So if you're thinking about gaming, first of all, why are you going backwards? The Olympics is backwards for esports. It's backwards.
Yeah,
Everything is
it's
online.
archaic. It's too
Everything is
rigid. It's too
it's
rigid.
exactly it's backwards. I understand.
Esports is fast moving. Like the things are constantly changing. Like there's new games. I mean, there's fucking people that spent hundreds of hours like training in Call of Duty, Modern Warfare now have to start training in Call of Duty, Cold War now. Like this shit, like it's less than a year. You know what I'm saying? So it's it doesn't need it, and that's the thing. Like I feel like I just get I'm it goes back to that whole thing where I always bring this up, but like video games like being determined if they're art. It's like of course they're fucking art. Like what are you talking about? Like that makes no sense. It literally encapsulates all forms of art into one. And then on top of that, it makes it interactive. So it's like that's no fucking of course that shit. Like that but that was just like the whole thing of video games becoming legitimized but in the eyes of like the old guard and our parents and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like this whole thing is also just kind of an offshoot of that as well. And it's like dog, like I don't like the kids don't care about fucking Olympics. Like
And
they're already on Twitch, they're
But they're
already
not
yeah,
following who they want to.
they're not
they're
trying to
never
reach
gonna.
kids, right?
The
But
term.
why do they care about that generation? That's not the generation that's growing. That's not the one that's going to just going to
But that's
support
the one with
video
the
games.
money. And that's
Yeah.
the
But
like these are the people.
there's
It's good for
no
the players. Like Gabby Douglas got, what I'm saying, contracts with fucking fuck, I forgot. Whoever she was doing ads with like the last couple years. And it's like
Hmm.
but who's watching
But
gymnastics during the year? People are only paying attention to gymnastics during the Olympics. Unless you're into it,
but
right? Unless you're a
that's
gymnast, unless
because
you're a coach.
gymnastics. But how long has that been a thing though? That gymnastics is in the
Gymnastics
Olympics. Yeah,
forever.
yeah,
Forever.
that's what I'm saying. She's been training forever to be in the Olympics. That's what she was. That was her goal from the beginning.
Yeah, for
Esports
sure.
trying to like esports is like, oh, we're here now. Hey, how do we get legitimate? Oh, let's go to the Olympics. Like you don't need it. Like Kristen says, you
I
don't
don't
need
think
it.
they
You
need
never
it.
have.
Right.
I don't even see why you want it because that
I
demographic
yeah
is never gonna like it.
it's
Just like music,
oil and
right? Like
water.
there's certain music that like you don't read
It's a totally different it's a totally different world. Like even when they tried to put like last like couple years or so, like they've been putting like the major um tournaments on like ESPN, and that shit did horribly.
kind of
It did
flopped.
horrible. Like nobody,
Yeah,
like when people like turned on ESPN and turned on, like they're watching I think the problem with esports is like it also depends on the games that you're watching, right? Like I don't like it, us I consider, I consider myself a core gamer.
A
I
nerd.
understand most games, and you put on like League of Legends, like I have no idea what's going
Oh, I'm
on
not
in that
watching
Or
game.
League.
Dota.
Like watching
Dota.
that,
Not
yeah,
watching
Dota,
Dota.
like
Not watching
yeah, all of
CS:GO.
them. Yeah,
But those
exactly.
make the
That's
most
the
money.
problem.
And
That's
those are the times that they make the most money.
That's true.
Dota.
exactly.
But they've been
But
around.
they make the money in just within the community. Like there isn't any like outreach to Olympics or anything like that. Like they're already making bread. But
Mhm.
I think that that's the problem with esports being on that mainstream level, is that it's hard to see what's really going on. Like fighting games are easy to recognize. Like you have bars, you have you can see
Yeah,
exactly
it,
what's going on. Like that's easy to
yeah.
understand. But
It's
like
almost
these,
like a real fight. Kind of, you can
yeah,
watch really just like a real fight. The struggle is pretty common. So it's like
exactly.
it just
So
seems like games like why don't you love me? It seems like that's what they're saying. Like why don't y'all
exactly,
I mean,
exactly,
like
exactly.
they want
I
that
see
to
what you're
appreciate.
saying, Kev.
Yeah, it's
I
like
I
see what
think
you're
why
for
don't
saying,
me,
Kevin, but it's
oh, good.
just like like the audience that they're striving for is just they're just not gonna
they're not gonna.
they're not gonna catch it. Like
they're
it's just
still
not.
watching
It's
Major
oil
League
and water. It's oil and
Yeah,
water. Like
they're
that.
watching they're watching Major League Baseball, which is like literally that demographic's gonna die out because they
Bruh.
had like they're
Exactly. Exactly.
I
So
mean, I
I
feel
just I
y'all.
don't
I
know.
do, and I know that games change quick. And I think that the same with any sport. Like I don't know the rules to curling. I'm not gonna, I don't turn it on
Yeah, and
to
that's why
see.
the ratings are terrible. Like nobody's watching that shit.
Baseball is super
it's
popular
funny.
overseas.
It
Maurice got a
looks
point about that.
hilarious.
But
But even
Yeah,
but
baseball is
like
not part of the Olympics
yeah, it's
anymore.
not.
I don't think I like, as a business, I get what you're saying. Like as a gamer, as a game lover, as someone who watches people play games, like as a consumer, I hear both of y'all. And games do move very quickly. I don't think that they would be able to have something like like Olympic wrestling. Like I mean, in 20 years, who knows where CS:GO, Dota, League is gonna be. I have no fucking clue, but I do think that as a business opportunity, I mean, I can kind of see the vision, like getting the best, CS:GO teams up there, getting the best, and having announcers, just like, I mean, I'm not announcers. Fuck, what do they call them niggas with the headphones? They talk about the game all game.
The
Commentator.
The
commentators.
commentators, there we go, and they have commentators that talk about what's going on, and like, I feel like that's
But yeah,
uh,
But I mean,
but that's
part of
already
how
going
people can
on.
watch shit they don't know where they don't really
but,
know the rules.
Even then, but
but
still, like
can't you see the slippery
it's
slope though?
oil and water. I'm
You
telling
let if
you.
you let esports in, then you gotta let battle droids in. Like remember battle droids?
That's different.
The
Battle
niggas
droids
that
is not making the
commentated.
same money.
No, but what I'm
They're
saying is
not
I
drawing this.
understand what the Olympics is like no. Like you can't just let anything that you can compete against can't just go in there. No, now
I
we
mean,
gotta throw
true.
cornhole in the Olympics.
You
Now we
said
gotta
throw
go darts
cornhole.
and bowling's now in the Olympics. All of these things are things that people enjoy, people love, but and and bowling can make money. Bowling alleys make money, right? Still,
Yeah,
people still go to
Exactly.
bowling
Yeah.
alleys right now.
word.
But guess what?
But
But guess what?
competitive
Don't
bowling
nobody
is
Every
listen.
not
other.
raking in esports money. They're not bringing in
Absolutely.
esports crowds.
And it's the same and it's the same reason why esports won't make money. It's because bowling is an activity that people like to do more than they like to watch. But it has its fans. It has its people. There are people who
Yeah.
love bowling and they watch it, and that's who supports. Because there's still professional bowlers. There are people who still
Word.
aspire to be
Yeah.
professional bowlers. So there's
Yep.
got to be something in it. It's like you're probably not gonna get that kind of recognition, but you don't need it as gaming. It's like this is the age for you to do something on Twitch, for you to create like
Yeah.
like your own little like
It's
league, and
I mean,
then
and they
and
do
then you
have
join
leagues.
the leagues
yeah.
together. Yeah,
They
and then you
do.
join the
Yeah.
leagues together every 4 years and have your league and have some one set of rules about how these leagues work, and in this organization, like you create your own digital Olympics, right? Like it I
It's
don't know why
already
that is
there.
so hard, man. Like shoot, man. How hard is it to apply for LLC to create a company
This man about to do it tonight. Hold on, let me.
But
I got
that's the thing.
I
And
got
that's
y'all.
the
I'll do it, and we'll start this thing off. Y'all, I'm gonna have a GoFundMe up
Hey, I'm ready.
and
I'm ready. We'll send y'all the link.
yeah.
All
So
right. Well, I mean, we'll put a pin in it. I hear y'all. And I guess
I just think that
we'll see what happens.
yeah, it's the final note on that. It's like
Yeah.
esports, like it's just like the the people that are actually organizing are the publishers. Those are the ones that are actually making bread off of this whole esports, phenomenon. And so there's like it it's very it's not being spread out like it seems, but there's definitely, and they're still really trying to figure out the business model of esports. It's not like as lucrative as it appears.
Get
So
rid of the lame uniforms. That's my first.
exactly, them giants are so like, come on
Uh,
now,
get
like
rid
dog,
of
just wear
the
a fucking
jump.
hoodie. Just wear a
Get
hoodie.
rid
Like,
of
I wear that
Then how do you know
goddamn.
who's on what team?
pajamas and the velveteen sweatsuits. Get rid of all that stuff.
That's just so corny, dog.
The
I'm dead.
freaking Adidas tracksuits they be wearing out there, and just let them wear clothes. And they're stupid.
I'm dead. All
They
right.
wear
Well,
like a hat or something that has the team logo on it.
yeah.
They don't need to. They don't need to like dress up like like a bowling league. That's what they look.
Exactly.
Bruh,
Yep.
I'm done. I don't. I mean, if they're well designed, I don't mind the jerseys too much. But there's definitely some.
Show me a well designed one because I want to get on board, but I
You said
haven't
I want
seen
to get
one yet.
on board. I have to go and look. But so all right, we gonna skip this chart because we like over time. But so Phil Spencer,
Fucking sports stuff.
the has been did this interview talking about how basically there's lots of white men in gaming and in leadership at the places that make games, that sell games,
Hmm.
and kind of calling for uh, a more diversity in that realm, and like not like you know not in like a really hollow way, which is why I kind of like fucked with the interview. He was like not just getting black, but like what's your experience while you're here, like how are you being treated, how do that
Yeah.
type of shit. And I was like, okay, I
Exactly.
can fuck with this.
So
Yeah.
my
Because usually they just throw you in there.
Yeah,
yeah, go
it's
ahead.
easy to get them in there and then just be like, all right, this is our toxic ass culture, you're welcome.
Yeah.
But like
Yeah,
Exactly.
taking care
Be
to make sure that people want to be there, that people feel psychologically safe and want to work there, like want to continue to work with you and your people, like that's the
have a
more
higher
important
retention
thing.
rate. Basically.
You said what?
Mm-hmm.
Have a higher retention rate, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
And the interesting thing from that interview, the one quote that I like, he says, "They don't need any more people that look like me." I was like, "Oh, okay." He's pretty much saying like, we don't need any more white men in this industry. We need more people of color. We need more women. We
Yep.
need more
More
of
queer
a
people, we
diverse
need more
background.
everything.
Because if you look at it, like in all seriousness, like the best games have the most diverse. Well, in a sense. So like Batman, all the Batman series, they had when they had the interview showing the different from Rocksteady, showing all the different developers, showing the different people. It was women, it was black, it was maybe like 3 or 4 black people. Yeah, white guys, you had white women, you had some black women, so it was very diverse. So I think like of course in any environment, if you have a diverse environment, you get the best perspectives upon different looks for different things, especially in video games. And so yeah, so I think it was a good honest answer from what he said basically
Yeah.
because
And not
a lot
just
of people,
leadership. I like the part where he was like visible leadership. Like that's what the
yeah,
fuck I'm
Yeah.
talking about, Phil.
not something behind
Exactly.
the scenes behind the curtain. Oh, yeah, we
Yeah.
got diversity in our company. Yeah, look at my this is my friend right here, Eduardo, come here.
Right.
Come and speak, man. Oh, okay, yeah, go back to work.
Yep.
Word. So I enjoyed the interview. I'm gonna link it for y'all in chat. It was a good interview. I feel like. And y'all got anything else to say about that? About Phil and this?
Phil's doing a good job, man.
Yeah.
Phil is
Hey.
he's a
I'm
good.
slow as I try to convert.
Yeah.
Slowly and
Oh
slowly.
shit, that's not the right thing.
I love PlayStation, but they fucking up.
Yeah, they not really.
Yeah.
One of us. One of us.
This
I'm
man
done.
said. I'm dead. All right. So with that, we gonna move on to the topic of the week, man. So this week we are talking about, this imminent next gen console launch. I know a couple of y'all got shipping notifications, right?
Hey, Tuesday,
Absolutely.
Wait a
Tuesday.
minute.
It
What?
wasn't even a notification. It was just
Y'all
I
got
checked
a
my
shipping
order.
notification? Let me check my
Yeah, just check your order
Check your
history.
Amazon order. Yeah.
Yeah.
cause ain't nobody tell me nothing. And I don't like that.
They ain't
Damn.
telling me nothing either. I just checked one day. I was like, oh, Chris, me want to check
I
your
am
order.
I am not comfortable with the fact that ain't nobody called me and said, AJ, you better get your Xbox.
Because you're not.
Text me.
Damn.
They're sending your Xbox to my house.
Damn.
eh,
At least I jacked
Uh,
your shit.
if you did something to make that happen, just know that you will also get another package in the mail. And please open it away from your family
Hey,
because I
Marsh,
don't
you can chill with
want
that shit.
anything bad to happen to them.
I
I'm
appreciate
dead.
that.
I'm dead.
But
Yeah.
for real though, like it's crazy how like so everybody rushed to get pre-orders like the day of and stuff like that when they announced it, right? And so now like Best Buy, they're gonna have pre-orders like during Black Friday, Target too. They're gonna have pre-orders for day one, like on the day of launch. So I'm like, okay. And then like for Best Buy, you gotta go online to order it and then go pick it up from the store.
Yeah,
So
they're not doing any in store
store
uh
orders. And so
orders. Yeah.
that's why I hope people people don't catch on and they just go to the store like, oh, I'm here for PS5. Oh, sorry, you can't order it here. What?
Yeah,
Oh,
there's gonna be a lot of this. There's gonna be people because they're trying to avoid people crowding and camping outside of
mm-hmm.
the store before they're released. So um there's still gonna be some idiots that still do it that didn't get the memo. But
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, I
damn.
mean shit.
Yeah,
it's
that's what I'm like. That's another thing too. Like a lot of countries are going back into COVID lockdown, and so in Europe they are sending them out ahead of time before their lockdowns or something along those lines. I can't remember exactly what. I know they said they had like some contingencies for that for Xbox, and
hmm
so I'm like, well, shit. Like,
yeah.
That's right.
So um what game what's the first game that everybody's firing up when they get the Series X?
shit. The only game you can
Nothing, 'cause I didn't pre-order one.
Halo.
you can't even play Halo until December.
Oh no, 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 not Infinite.
Oh no, Halo Five, Halo Five,
Wow,
Halo
bro, just like arrow to the fucking heart reminded me about Infinite. But no, I'm talking about
5.
Halo 5. They promising me fucking high frame rates. All right, at 4K.
Oh,
I'm testing that shit.
yeah. Well, Halo 5 isn't getting any
Yep.
PS5 is, but not Halo
You gotta
5.
What?
play
yeah,
the
Master
Oh,
Chief Collection
MCC
is
is getting it.
getting, yeah, they getting the
Wh-
120.
they
whichever
don't
one, I'm
care
firing it up and I'm going to test that
Yeah.
shit.
they don't care about Halo
Fire.
5 at all.
I like,
Yeah.
come on, y'all got to show 5. Maybe after they wrap up MCC, like bringing it to PC and doing optimizations, maybe they'll, circle back to it.
Yeah, I
That's
hope
what I'm
so
hoping.
because 5 definitely deserves to be on PC. I think that'll
Hell yeah.
definitely it'll get the player base back up. And I
Yep.
mean Halo and 5 is not it's not a 5 is not a bad game. Like it's actually fun. It just fucked up on the single player, and
Hmm.
they're just kind of missing. They broke too many rules with the game, so it's
Yeah.
it's is looked upon, you know, from the, I guess, the OG like Halo players as like, oh, this game is like the game that they really just did too much like different shit, and so like I'm just never gonna like give it a chance, basically.
Mm.
Um, which is weird because everybody's like complaining about the movement in Fire. I was like, dog, like what are you talking about? This is a super soldier. Why wouldn't he move like this? You know
True.
what I'm saying? Like you expect it. Like people literally got when Halo Reach added sprint. People got mad that they added sprint. I was like, what the fuck what is wrong with y'all? Like I don't
You said that
understand.
super soldier gonna walk this slow.
Yeah,
No,
like
this is
dog, like
gonna be dynamic, but we running fast, hitting
dog, like
them
the
crazy.
only the only reason that Halo didn't have like sprint from the beginning was just like it wasn't part of like first person shooter designs at that time, you know.
Hmm.
And then once like, you know, games mainly once, you know, Call of Duty added that element to it, that's when it was just normal throughout all first person shooters. So it's like um it's just I don't know. People just want like things just like how you were saying AJ when like people were getting mad that like lightsaber fights and the prequel where they weren't like the in Star Wars, they weren't like the original Star Wars trilogy where it
Hmm.
was just like huh, it's like it's kind of like fencing, you know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like there's that same argument. Like people just didn't like want to see change, and it's just weird. I don't know, but Halo 5, they need to show that game some love because it deserves it.
Yeah, it does. What?
And it still looks like really good.
It, it does. It's this.
And
I
that's
like it. I like it a lot.
5-year-old game. Yeah, 5-year-old game. Um
Then they were talking about. Oh, did you tell us what game you about to play first?
um definitely Halo. And then Gears will be
Mm.
next. And then I'm gonna fire up Doom Eternal. I want to see how that thing is running on
Oh,
Series
true.
X.
True. True.
Not sure.
So,
Yep.
yeah.
And they really.
So there's
Oh, so go
I
ahead. Go
want
ahead.
to get.
there's a sizable update that I have for Master Chief Collection, and I'm getting shafted on the download speeds. I did a
Oh, damn.
speed test. I should be getting substantially faster downloads, and I'm sitting here at 30 something megabits. A few times it went to single digit megabits.
Single
Mm.
digit, boy.
Snatching up shit.
I wonder if that's a
That's just Master Chief Collection.
server.
Like I did a speed test. I did a fast.com test. I did a speed test on the Xbox itself.
It's just not going your
This
way.
this thing is struggling. I'm getting pissed because this shouldn't even take that long.
Word.
That must be a server side thing.
All right.
Anyway,
Uh, yeah. So it looks like they're really going forward with this Apple TV shit. I'm not sure. I mean, I guess I can see it like with them trying to position the Xbox as a like as a all around media centers. Kind of trading on that. But I tell you the fuck what. All right, I need Apple to give me fucking XCloud if they're gonna be pulling this bullshit. Like like just stop playing.
Apple Arcade first.
No, I
They have
don't.
to concede
Don't nobody
to
want that
Apple
bullshit.
Arcade. No, I'm
Like
telling you,
it's
dog, that's the price. That's the price.
I would rather play Stadia, and Stadia is trash. It's trash.
you would
Um,
rather play Stadia.
I would
That's
I'll
harsh.
go back to Destiny 2 on Stadia before I want to like just
Dang.
jump in Apple Arcade and play some shit.
At least you can download stuff from Apple Arcade.
Yeah, I
I'm telling you,
I
that's the
guess.
price, man. That's what it's gonna take. I'm sure that they put it out on the table and it was like, yo, y'all take it or leave
They,
it.
I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I gotta be honest. All right, well, that's. I
4
mean,
megabits right now.
damn, Carl, they. Whew,
2.7.
where he said
1.5.
That's ridiculous.
connected through your local GameStop. I'm
It's already
dead.
done.
This is crazy.
That's out of
I haven't
pocket.
seen these kind of speeds in like 5 years,
Those are cell
10
phone
Damn.
years.
speeds.
You might need a network restart, man.
It's
Facts.
not my network. It's this thing.
Maury said PlayStation wouldn't do that to you. I don't know, dog. PlayStation just had an outage. They supposed to be launching a whole console. They just had an outage
Yeah,
yesterday.
they just give all your credit cards to homeboys around the way.
Damn.
Thanks.
Damn.
That
Oh
is cool.
shit. All right, all right, all right. We over time, so we gonna
Data
wrap up.
breach a minute.
Oh, we're gonna do
It's holiday
special.
season. They're due for another one.
We're gonna do a special episode next week, showing off the new consoles.
Hey, I'm with that. I'm with that.
I'm down.
Oh
As long as
gosh,
they
yeah,
come on
that'd be
time. I
good.
need them to like.
Yeah, if I get one, mine is not
Yeah,
shipped.
hopefully we get if we get it
It's
on
not
time.
shipped yet.
No, so I'm probably not gonna get one on the
Who,
check.
Yeah.
did you get it from the Microsoft store?
Absolutely.
I mean,
I mean,
Oh, wait a minute.
maybe they could get
Wait a
they
minute. No,
probably
no,
could
no,
get it
no.
within 3 days.
We good. It's shipped.
no, it's shipped. All
Yeah,
right,
we
bet.
go.
Look at you.
Yeah, we good.
Hey,
Track it. Where is it at? Where is it at?
you said track.
Yeah,
It better not be. It better not be in China.
it already
Just track
said
it.
it says shipped to my
China, I'm done.
I got my
At
order
China,
number,
bro.
but
Is which coast it is on? Is it middle of the country? Is it where is it?
I don't know. They don't have a track feature like right on the order details. Let me back out and see if I can
Come
find it.
on,
Oh,
guys.
bitch.
Come
You gotta
on.
know. Carl need the info.
I want it.
This man.
I might make a risky COVID trip just to see that. So, go to
It's a long
Tallahassee.
drive, bro.
6 hours ain't nothing. I drove 19 hours with 2 babies changing diapers, and 6 hours ain't nothing.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
It's nothing. Cake. All right.
Sure.
Bro, the body ain't gonna. Damn. Wow. I just read what you put, Suave. Really? Next
Hey.
week?
Hey. They taking a smoke break, a lunch break. They
They're like that sloth from what's that movie? That damn sloth just we open shit.
oh yeah, from oh damn, what is the movie?
Zootopia.
Yeah, Zootopia.
Utopia. Yeah,
That's
I'm
what they
like,
doing.
dog.
That's who they got on the job.
They on real CPT time over there.
Facts.
That ain't us. Don't know. That ain't us.
You said that ain't us.
We'd be there by now. We might not be working yet, but we there.
You said we might
Man,
not be. I'm
don't
dead.
mind me.
All right, so we gonna so y'all want to get ready to switch over. We gonna wrap up for the podcast.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right,
Ready.
bet. Thank y'all again for joining us on the podcast. Definitely let us know what you think about the discussions today, or if there's something you haven't seen us talk about that you want us to cover. Follow us at Blerdimension everywhere if you haven't already, namely here on Twitch and on YouTube. We stream the podcast live here on Twitch most Thursday nights, and we start dropping clips on YouTube like the following Saturday. Make sure to hit that bell so you can get them tasty morsels in your notifications, man. Tell a friend to tell a friend. We're going to take a brief intermission, and then we're going to switch over to after podcast gaming. So stay tuned.
And please make sure to hit that follow button on Twitch. It helps us reach our goal of hitting 50 so we can finally become affiliate. Not Twitch partners, yeah, but we
Yeah,
can finally
partners
become affiliate.
after.
So 50 is the goal.
Absolutely.
So if you're not following,